to the Kryptonite Council. I'm today. I'm here with Pick of the Hat and two special guests, GGA 16-bit and Claude. Welcome to the show, guys. The largest tournament in the world, Evolution 2013, was last weekend, and we have lots to talk about. I would like to start with Mortal Kombat 9 because the general consensus is that MK9 was more appealing to watch than Injustice. But this issue will be addressed shortly. First of all, I would like to ask Pig how he feels about his performance in MK9.
God, that was so scripted. How do I feel about my performance in MK9? All right, I went into that tournament thinking I have 2 weeks. I've got pools in my hand. I've got 2 weeks before MK9 and EVO, and the game will be dead that Friday night after a one-day tournament at 7 p.m. I've given 2.5 years of my life to this game, and I don't really see any. I don't see any more reason to give. I don't any more time to the game. I feel like I've done all that I can do in the game. I feel like I've reached my peak and whatnot. So I was looking at the future game for Injustice a lot more, and I went into it, and I feel like the two matches I lost because I haven't been taking it seriously, and the way I lost. I felt like if I had kept on practicing, I could have taken both of them down to the wire, and it would have came down to a final hit rather than me dropping a lot of punishes and just kind of playing like slop. But those are two people I lost to that I really wanted to do well. So I wanted Detroit to have that top 8 medal. And I wanted Forever King to win the tournament if Dizzy or 16-bit didn't. So losing to those two people, I kind of walk away like, cool, I don't care. So, I mean, it was probably the first tournament in 2.5 years that I've lost that I walked away and it was kind of like, that was fun. I just don't care. Like, to me, I felt like I had proven over 2.5 years with hard work and dedication all I need to prove. And I was just really focusing on Injustice. And it was just, I don't know, it was kind of like one of those things like, I've done this, I've been there, done that. I want to do this with Injustice and see how well I can do with that game.
No, I understand what you mean. And let me ask 16-bit, like, how do you feel about your performance? And, dude, will you ever counterpick Kenshi, man? I'm so tired of seeing you lose to that character.
Um, Overall, I'm really happy. I wanted that top 8 really bad. I started off my career at EVO 2011 getting top 8, and I really wanted to kind of cap off my career with another top 8. So it felt great. That's why I didn't pop off. Is It was a great feeling, and I worked really, really hard for that. Um, I'm very happy with how I played against Cowboy. That was a really close match. My God, I would say I'm not emo. I know I could have played better. I think my game plan was correct, but he was really good at using the X cartwheel. Uh, he played well. I'm not too mad about it. I'm a little disappointed because if I had beat him, it would have been DJT, and that's a match and a player that I've beaten before. But when I think about how godlike he was playing, it's not like I'm going to sit there and say, oh, I definitely would have beat him. It would have been hard as hell. So I'm not too upset about that. And then Kenshi, it is what it is. I sat down knowing I was going to lose. It's just too hard, and I'm never going to counterpick it. I love playing Katana. Being a character specialist means a lot to me, and if it means getting 5th at EVO instead of 4th or 3rd or whatever, I can live with that, especially 2 years in. And we're going to talk about it later, but I have kind of picked the character that I didn't love, and it's just led to fucking emo-ness and bad things. So I'm going to stick with Katana and be happy with 5th.
All right, let me just ask you this because I'm very curious, and I'm pretty sure everybody else is too, about the Katana Sonya matchup. Is that even, or is that in Sonya's favor?
All the Sonya players say it's even, but I think that's a bunch of horse shit. Down fours.
I
Down,
agree.
yeah, down 4. You couldn't ask for a better tool to deal with Katana's footsies than down 4. And I think EX cartwheel is really, really good. I think when the argument is basically the common wisdom is that it's even because Katana zones are out. Is this EVO 2011 or 2013? Like if Katana's zoning is still blowing you up, then I don't buy that. I mean, you see, I did run away from my god really well, but once you get at cartwheel range, I'm not run like I gotta, I don't buy it, and that's not a winning. You're not winning based on runaway. I think it's Katana's advantage. But it's not like unwinnable. Like I've beaten most Sonya players. I just beat MIT. I've beaten Morty. I've beaten a lot of good Sonya players, and that was 2-1. That could have gone our way. So it's not like I'm blaming the matchup.
Yeah, and I mean, I play Sonya as well, and I play 16-bit, and I don't main her, sort of. I don't really main. She's not like my true main, but I mean, I feel like I can go even with him, and I can just tell when I'm playing the match. It does not feel 5-5. I think a lot of Sonya players don't do a lot of things correctly, and they don't use their armor correctly. They don't just you got to bully Katana. You can bully her as Sonya, and I think that's the one thing that a lot of Sonya players miss out on. My God played it perfect. He did all that he needed to do, and he got the win. And he was easily the most impressive player, or not the most impressive. I'd say the biggest standout at EVO, like the biggest surprise. He was kind of the story of EVO, and then of course DJT taking it with Cyrax.
Yeah,
That's
absolutely.
interesting.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Go on.
Let me. Yeah. No, I just wanted to get Claude into the conversation since you told me you kind of watched all the MK matches. Just talk about what you saw. Talk about my God. What kind of surprised you. What you liked.
Okay. Well, for the record, I did take off work on Friday and took a vacation day and stayed home and just kind of ordered some food and watched MK all day. It was actually a pretty fun day. And I would say some of the surprises, I would definitely say my guy was a surprise but not a shock because I know he's been doing really well down in Texas there in his tournaments. But, he had the only major I think he went to was MLG, correct? One time?
Yeah.
And
He went to Dallas, I think.
Yeah, and he actually did well. He didn't get blown up or anything. And in the matches he lost, I watched one of them. He barely lost it. I mean, he could have won. So, I mean, I knew he was a good player, but I didn't know he was going to do that well. Yeah. But I mean, he's a great player playing Sonya, which is obviously, in my opinion, a top 3 character. So, it was bound to happen eventually. The thing that surprised me was Showtime Sonya. Showtime is known as arguably the best Sonya, and I don't think he made it out of his pool. And
he got double eliminated by Dizzy.
That's right. Okay, and then Dizzy lost to My God, and when I watched that match, it didn't look like the old Dizzy. It looked like Dizzy was either one of two things happened. Either Dizzy just got completely outplayed, or basically that's maybe Dizzy didn't expect My God to be that good and then kind of freaked out a little bit. That's what it looked like to me. But I don't know. I don't know what the answer is, but could be either one or maybe a combination of both. So the Sonya and Cage thing was that Dizzy losing to CD Jr., I didn't see the match. I actually saw it on YouTube recently. But I asked you, Steve, about that, what happened, because I was playing with CD Jr. the weekend before. We were playing Cage versus Kung Lao a lot. And, we were going back and forth for the most part. And he was like, I will never play this matchup, again. So, not because of me, just because the matchup it's obviously in Cage's favor, So he said, I'm only going to go Kenshi or Cabal at EVO for Cage. And so when he beat Dizzy, I was like, wow, at least he knows. When I watched the match, I was like, he's one of the few Cabals that actually knows how to play this matchup. A lot of Cabal players, they get loose to Cage, and it's like, that matchup is really bad, actually. Cabal players shouldn't be losing to Cage, in my opinion. But it just depends on, they have to play it correctly. So there was that. I don't know. I mean, Pig not making top 8, I was pretty surprised by that.
I wasn't. I could post this conversation I had with Kerbo a week before EVO, and I basically told him, I was like, man, I just don't care. The passion and determination to do well at MK9 at EVO was just not there for me this year. For a lot of reasons. Just knowing that it's not going to be there most likely. You hear all this crap negativity about it, and then you look at Injustice, and I know 600, 700 people had to compete with that. I was like, man, I've done all I need to do. I don't feel like I have anything to prove. I'd have to win this damn tournament to for it to matter to anybody. So
that's right. Yeah, I agree with that.
But I will say this. I want to point out 2 things about me at EVO.
Yeah.
And one of the matches was recorded by Glass Sword. I can get posted. Hopefully he'll post in this thread. After I got knocked to losers by Forever King, I beat Emperor Theo in a really close match, Kenshi versus Jax. I had completely forgotten the Jax and Kenshi matchup. Actually, it was really funny. Like that random guy, Kerbo, mid-match texted me. I heard my phone go off like during the match, and I heard the ding on my phone, and it was. I later checked the phone after the match. It was Kerbo, and he was like, "Dude, peg free to jump kick throw." And then he's like, LOL, like because that random Jax player, second round, just did jump kick throw 5 times in a row on me, and I didn't do anything. I just sat there and looked at it the whole time.
Dude,
But then,
jump kick throw is awesome.
yeah, but I just sat there and looked at him like I was like, duh, it's just like I didn't do anything 5 times, and he won like a round doing that. But anyway, but then me and Emperor Theo were extremely close, and I barely beat him 2-1. He's a really, really, really good Jax. And then so when I got to losers in top 32, I switched to Sonya, and I mopped up Shanksters, Kung Lao, and Kenshi so bad with Sonya. It felt really good. And I popped off on the camera. Glass Sword was recording about like I said something random like "Who says I can't rush down, fool?" or something like that. And
I like that.
yeah, it was pretty awesome. I'll have to get him to post it. Apparently, I did like a longer pop-up, but Glass Sword stopped it halfway through. I'm trying to think. And then I played Setsui, and then I played Sunk, and I played... Oh, shit, there's one more. I played one more person in losers, and then I fought Detroit to make top 8, and I wanted him to get it. And I mean, I tried. I really tried. I wanted to beat Detroit. Detroit was someone I really wanted to beat. At the same time, he beat me. It's like, all right, good for you, man. You need that medal. I mean, I want you to have that medal. You deserve it. But I wasn't going to like just give it to him. I was going to fight as much as I could.
Right. Go ahead.
But trying to think what else I was going to point out. Yeah, I mean, I will say this, that I did win both team tournaments. I drafted well and performed well. And MIT beat... DJT was on my team. MIT, Cyrax mirrored him in the hotel room. And MIT beat Denzel after he won EVO with MIT Cyrax. And then, I beat MIT Cyrax with Kenshi. It's like the only matchup all weekend, it turns out I have not forgotten one thing about. And I flawless MIT. And I paused it, and I told everyone in the room to shut up. And everyone got really quiet, and I unpaused it, and it said flawless victory.
Let me ask, because I think people wanna hear about this. After you guys watch DJT fight his way, I don't know, like 3-4 high level Cabal players. One of them was Rio, and if his laptop wasn't broken right now, I would be asking him this question. But just watching, have your minds changed about that matchup? Is it 7-3 Cabal? Is that what it looked like? Because it didn't look like that to me at all, honestly. Does anybody want to comment on that?
Yeah, I'll say.
Okay, go ahead.
I think it's even.
I think there's no chance that match is even. There's no chance. DJT put on the performance of 2013. He was phenomenal. And beating Rio is a big deal, but I think we need some perspective. Like Detroit and Carl, Detroit's Cabal is probably the second best Cabal, and Rio's probably, Carl's probably the third best Cabal, but they're all beatable. I mean, Katana has beaten Detroit's Cabal this year. Shang Tsung has beaten Detroit's Cabal this year. I mean, Rio's the Cabal to beat, and even then it was close. And sometimes we just have to acknowledge that someone played better. If you look at DJT's patience, you look at his punishment, it was on point. And if you look at that match, Cabal was in absolute control of the situation. Cabal was free to do whatever the fuck he wants to do at all times. And if you say that's an even match, I don't buy it. I don't buy it. Just because, I mean, look at that. We're talking about how, he didn't take the bait on the gas blast and all that. Okay, but he's sitting there and not able to do anything and can only react. He's only in a reactionary role at every part of the screen, and we're going to call that an even matchup. Even if he does 70%, I'm not buying it. And I think every time Cabal loses, this community is like, oh, Cabal's fine. He's no longer number one. And then we go to VXG. Cabal, Rio wins. Cabal's never won EVO, and that's the funny thing. Cabal will never win a world championship, but he wins everything else.
Yeah, he wins every other tournament.
Can we talk about
Rio for a second?
You don't think that? Yeah, just 1 second. You don't think though that matchup could be even like a really short stage like the pit? Because honestly, it won't take long to corner Cabal in that stage in comparison, obviously, to the rooftop. What do you?
I don't know. I don't play either character, so I'm not going to tell you what the matchup number is. But
Mm-hmm.
nothing about it changed. He didn't do anything that we haven't seen before. He just
Yeah,
played godlike.
Yeah, he
yeah,
just
he
outplayed
did.
Rio. He outplayed him.
Right.
Yeah, he did. He
Yeah.
did. Yeah, that's true. What
But
what were you gonna say, Claude?
well, starting from I watched the stream mainly, well, particularly Injustice, mainly for the players. I mean, I love Mortal Kombat. I'm not a huge fan of Injustice, as some people know, but I will watch it because I'm friends with players and I know players, and I kind of, to me, the player matchups are more interesting than the character matchups sometimes. Things like that. So, obviously, I'm rooting for Rio because he's a teammate and a friend of mine. And when I first saw him on stream, I was like, "What is this? Who possessed Rio's body and is playing? Like, what scrub cabal is this?" When I was watching him play in pools, I was like, "What happened to this guy?" And he just looked awful. And I was like, God, I was like, is this how it's gonna end? Maybe the last Mortal Kombat Evo, it's gonna end like this for Rio. Like he's just gonna play like shit and lose. So anyway, and then as it was going on, he started playing a little better, a little better. All of a sudden, it got into like top 16, and it was like I'm starting to see like Rio starting to look like the old Rio. And by the time it got time in the top 8, I was like, is he just trolling everyone? Like, did he really just like sandbag the entire tournament like up until this point? Because it looked like two totally different players from top 8 to when you watched the pools. I was like night and day. And but the truth is, when he played in the grand finals, in my opinion, he just looked like he got outplayed. And I mean, from a perspective of not playing either character and also not playing at the time, I could see things that look like he could have taken advantage of to actually win the match. Just from kind of armchair quarterbacking. But for instance, DJT was blocking a lot, and Rio wasn't doing any throw mix-ups. For my like that, not that many. So maybe the throwing would have opened him up a little bit. Also, he wasn't really mixing up he wasn't utilizing the flash parry that much in his pressure, which maybe would have prevented DJT from just not even poking out, but getting full combo punches in the middle of his pressure. So there's maybe one or two things that he could have did differently that made people would say, "Oh, the matchup is bad." If he would have did that, you never know. But I don't know. That's my statement, I guess, on the grand finals in Rio. But Rio versus PL to me was definitely the match of the tournament. Like, as far as the hype moment, that was really exciting, and I'm sure people enjoyed that. I mean, what did you guys think of Rio versus PL?
It looked like Carl was completely out of it. I thought it was sad, actually.
Okay. Why did you think he would be out of it? I mean, it's top 8 at EVO.
I don't know. Maybe losing to DJT really shook him up.
Okay. I mean,
maybe
Yeah,
he
it
wasn't
was. Yeah, that match wasn't even close, right? I mean,
Right.
Rio just went, went
Well,
right through him.
if you analyze it, the first round was close. Carl almost won the first round. But once, if you notice the times that Carl has played PL before, Carl has played Rio before, last year, when they did play Cabal versus Kung Lao, and Rio lost, and then it's when he switched to the mirror, right?
Yeah.
Rio has kind of like been secretly known to not play the Kung Lao matchup that well. Okay.
Right.
But what happened is, and I know for a little bit about this, is that he was trained, like before EVO, training a lot the Cabal versus Kung Lao matchup. Okay. And basically, it looked like night and day. He had figured out the matchup to the point where, you remember CD Junior versus Cat at MLG?
Yep.
It almost looked exactly like that. CD Junior went in, and every time he would teleport, Cat punished it, right?
Yeah.
And CD Junior had no idea what to do after that. He just didn't adjust, right?
I agree. That's how I saw it too.
Yeah, it looked like once Rio showed that you can't teleport on me anymore, Carl was like, I don't know what to do. That's what it looked like.
Agreed.
So I mean, what I'm saying is it just didn't look like he could adjust to Rio being prepared for the matchup, which leads me to the point that I don't think that matchup is 5-5. I think people are crazy when I say that. I think it's definitely like 6-4. That's what it seems like to me. But
That's a great observation. Yeah, I mean, Perfect Legend, and I like him, but he's gonna give me shit for saying this. But sometimes he can't adjust well at all. Like, once something doesn't work, maybe I shouldn't be one to point this out because I have the same problem. But
Right.
exactly, you guys know that. But
Yeah.
when something doesn't work, his main strategy, the game is over. he can adjust, and you can just beat him easily, and that's it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's, like Claude just described. That's pretty much what we saw there.
Anyway,
Yeah,
so
I
that
agree.
was it.
Yeah, yeah. That's just. But let
Hey,
me.
Anyway,
Go ahead.
let me intervene for a second. But around this point, can you talk about the talk that we had about MK9 and EVO about I'm quitting, bro, but I don't want to, or my scene's quitting, bro, because I don't want to. Can you go through that spiel?
Yeah.
Talk about that.
In the months leading up to EVO in Chicago, everyone knows in Chicago we love this game. We bleed MK. We all had this mentality that we're going to train hard for MK, and then the game's going to die because no one else is going to be playing it. So I'm going around talking to people. I talked to P-Board, talked to Slayer, talked to Wondershift, all those guys on the West Coast, the Terry brothers, and it's, oh yeah, we love MK. We're still playing it, but after EVO, no one else is going to play it, so we're dropping it. I'm like, oh, that's interesting. Then I talked to Cad, I talked to Showtime, talked to Scarred. Oh, we love MK. We still want to play, but after EVO, it's going to be dead, so we're not going to bother. And I talked to Rio, and he's like, oh, I love this game. Cabal, but it's dead after EVO, so I'm not going to play. And I'm like, wait a minute. Do you guys all realize that independently, we're all still love the game, and we all want to play, but we're not going to play because no one else is going to play? If we just fucking talk to each other, we could still play. Why is this game dying? I don't understand it. Literally everyone I talked to, other than Tom, was like, let's keep playing. What? Blake still loves the game. Pig, you still like the game. Glass Sword still wants to play. I don't understand. Why are we quitting? What? No one wants to quit, but we all just assume we want to quit. So what the fuck are we quitting for? Let's do it.
I agree.
I agree.
That's well said. I will still play. Obviously, my character's top tier. I like the game. I like the zone. I'm always down. So.
What?
And,
really?
Yes. And Master D was actually, he's like, Dave, you know what, man, we should have gone to EVO just because of MK, because that's how good it looked, to us. And it was, I mean, you guys put up an amazing performance, and everybody thought, man, this game, maybe this game still has more life in it. You know what I mean? And that's what I want to get, what I want to talk about next. A lot of people, and I said through, I was in the forums and I was reading a lot, and everybody pretty much said, you know what? MK9 looked better. It just looked better than Injustice. Why do you think, guys, that is? Why was MK9 more appealing to watch?
I think to me, it's because Injustice is a new game, so no one knows what's going on, and the play's very sloppy. Where MK, this is its third year, it's the highest level of play. You look at DJT, Cowboy, all those Forever Kings, Kung Lao, it's all super refined. It's super clean. You're seeing there's, except for some of the really bad matchups, it's very close. Me versus Cowboy was last game, last round. It's two character specialists that know a lot about their character. Very few drop combos. It's the highest level of play, and that's always going to be more fun to watch than kind of very new sloppy play, which is what you're going to see from a new game. And I think the appeal of a new game is going to be the shit that we've never seen before. The hot girls, the Grundies. And that's the kind of thing that you're going to see in pools. The Jokers, Cheeseburger playing Joker, doing all these whack teeth setups. That's hype. But in the top 8, that's when you get down to the top tier, the easier characters to play, the more dominant characters. And that's the shit that we see at locals every week. If you want to see KDZ blowing up, someone, we can watch the break weekly. Whereas you only see the best Shang Tsung versus the best Cabal once every 6 months. And you only see it on that stage once a year. And that's guys that have been playing the game for years. And if they're at the highest level, you're seeing that kind of thing. I think that's the difference.
You guys know about careers in professional work environments where, say we have this guy named Bob, and he's like, yeah, I have this great job. I just started out at $30,000 a year. However, there's this major ladder where every year my corporate life or professional life, I'm going to make more money. I'm going to get better and better and better and better. Okay, that's how I look at MK9. I'm worried that, so those are jobs with ladders, careers with ladders, you always escalate yourself in pay and career and expertise and whatnot. I kind of look at Injustice, and what I'm scared about with Injustice is That I'm worried if that game has a ladder. Like, what's Superman gonna look like next July? You guys hear my dog crying? He's trying to give me a welcome. Does this game have a ladder? Does this game have escalation? I'm worried that the same combos we're seeing now with Superman are the same combos we're going to see possibly next year. And the way I look at MK9 versus Injustice is, I look at 2011, 2012, and now, and it's immense amounts of growth. I'm worried that Injustice might not allow that. And I think that's, to me, why it looked better. I mean, I'm not really sure what else we can start doing with Superman, or I'm sorry, what KDZ or other people can start doing with Superman. I do know that if there's more variety of characters in top 8s and top 16s and stuff, and a little bit more balance implemented to the game, then you'll start seeing more variety on stage and matchups, and you might see some stuff that's very interesting to watch. But there's only so many 4-2-3s that I can take a shot to, and I mean, it literally, if 4-2-3 was a drinking game, I would have been dead like by round. I would have been literally dead. There would have been a dead pig hanging off the stage.
Let me take that point, and I think this is, people want to see me ask this question, and I want everybody to, give everybody a chance to respond, and I want to, dig in straight to my script and just say, many players opine that Superman needs to be normalized. KDZ states that the issue is a major skill gap, is what he said on his blog, not Superman. While CD Jr. believes that some Superman players did not deserve to place top 8 in the tournament. What do you think about this? Is it a Superman issue, or is it just KDZ above everybody else?
That's actually pretty awesome. CD Jr., who plays Superman, saying that some people didn't deserve to make top 8.
That's what he said on his Twitter. Yeah.
It's not like CD Jr. is meaning Bane, and he says, these people didn't deserve to make top 8.
No, and then I asked him, CD Jr., can you mention names? Like, no, I'm not gonna do that, Dave. But he did say it on Twitter, and I think I know who he's talking about. I think he's talking about Slayer. There was this rumor going around that Slayer picked up Superman like a week or two before EVO.
Okay, that rumor has been debunked. There is 2-month-old footage of Slayer on Wednesday Night Fights playing Superman.
Well, I will point out that Slayer beat Eris with Superman, who CD Jr. lost to.
Oh, wow. Okay. I didn't know.
Very true.
That's some interesting piece of information. But what do you think? What do you guys think about Superman? I'm gonna pick to respond. Do you think that forward 2? I mean, let's face it. That's like a record that juggles. We know what record does in Street Fighter.
Yeah.
It's I don't. What do you think?
I have been arguing left and right with people about this on the boards. I'm not really looking to stir up more arguments, although I probably will accidentally do so. I do want to say, first and foremost, as I was telling Crimson Shadow on Skype the other day, congratulations to our Injustice World Champion of 2013, KDZ, for winning 28 tournaments within 3 months of the game's release. Do you guys realize that? He's won 28 tournaments, whether it be like, local down at the bar, GameSpot, our next level battle circuit, or that thing in Massachusetts, that Guts tournament you went to, or EVO. So major congratulations to that guy. He deserves every dollar he received. He deserves a trophy. He deserves everything. Okay, now, with that being said, I think Superman is unquestionably top 2, top 3, and is uncomparable to 60% of this, maybe 60, 70% of this cast. However, it is not KDZ's fault that he picked up Superman day one. He picked up a character, mastered the character, played him better than anyone else is playing him right now. And, we have Superman in our games, or in our copies of Injustice, so why can't we pick up the game and play it, play that character as broke as he does? Now, when I say play as broke as he does, that's a compliment. He found things that no one else is using correctly. And, again, congratulations to KDZ for all he's done. Now, but there's a silver lining, there's a separate issue to this, where I think Superman requires, literally, I told this to 16-bit or someone on the phone the other day, I could grab my wife, who can't even understand how to use a Wii controller, like those motion sensor controllers. I did this once. She didn't understand. It was fucking terrible. That did not. This is like we first met. Didn't work out. So I just put it away. Anyway, I could probably teach her a 44% B&B with Superman, and then get her to try a 44% B&B with Cabal, and there's a major skill gap there. Like, I was telling someone that when Cabal is doing 2 Nomad Dash cancel on me, it sucks. But I'm looking at the guy out of the corner of my eye going, you know what, I respect that, because that's really fucking hard to do. But then I go to Injustice, and I see, boom, boom, which is like over and over. And it's, I mean, there's only so much I can see that shit. It's like, okay, I mean, you go through every string Superman has. You see, like, you know, Mightiest Force and Kryptonite Punish, and all these dumbass names and strings and fucking horseshit. And none of it matters. They should honestly remove every string from there and just name the string 423 423, and then just that's all it is. And that's the only string that character needs is to initiate offense. That's his whip punisher. That's everything that character needs. And he's got great zoning. All the he says it's overrated. I mean, I think he's unquestionably top 3, top 5. He's a lot like Cabal. The reason why I brought up the whole Cabal 2 Nomad Dash cancel thing is because Cabal is number 1 in Mortal Kombat. And I think Superman is number 1 in Justice. He's Cabal's rushdown, but with simplistic execution, more corner damage, a trait that seems like it's always there, and Cabal's zoning. I mean, I think this character is really good. He's mobile. He has mobility. He can punish things, and most people can't with ease. I mean, this character's tough. Now, however, I will go ahead and bring this up now. I'll go ahead and bring this up now since I'm talking a lot, and this is what I want everyone's opinion on. I have a way to balance, in my opinion, I have a way to balance injustice 1,000%, in my opinion, without nerfing Superman or buffing Superman, or nerfing any other characters or buffing any other characters. I know it sounds impossible, but I've got a way to completely balance everything out 100%.
Okay.
It's why the hell hasn't NRS adopted the stamina health bar system that Super Street Fighter 4 has? Just work with me for 1 simple second. Listen to me. Claude, you play Cage, right?
Right.
Imagine I pick Kenshi. I've got 40% health. You've got 100. What are you thinking about your chances now?
40% health to 100?
Yeah, I'm 40% because it's an 8-2 matchup.
Right. Now the
So
matchup's only 4-6.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm trying to adjust here a little bit.
Okay.
But because, you know, I'm just saying I'm 40% and you've got 100%.
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel about your chances now against me or against any other Kenshi?
Right. I feel much better. I mean, it could be 5-5 at that point.
I feel like it's 5-5 at that point.
Mm-hmm.
Katana, same thing. Baraka. Imagine Baraka versus Cabal. Imagine Cabal has 40% health and Cabal has 100%. I mean, Baraka has 100% health and Cabal has 40%. I'm predicting that Baraka is going to blow up some Cabals. And, you know, down the line. Okay, so I was talking to Lord of the Fly, and the idea was stimulated to me by Bro Killer. Bro Killer is a Reptile and Jax player who was at EVO, and he texted me this morning, and he kind of said something kind of to this extent. He said, what if health bars were based on matchups? And I didn't respond. I just said, hey, you just stimulated a really good idea in my head. I want to talk about it on the podcast, give you full credit. And then me and Lord of the Fly were talking about it, and we said, well, obviously they can't release a game with matchup-based health systems because they're not going to fucking know what matchups are, you know, in these games, and it takes our community 3.5 fucking years to decide a matchup number. So, but I think anyone who's somewhat intelligent can identify the S-tier characters in this game, you know, and I mean, if Street Fighter can, why can't NRS do it? Why can't, if Capcom can do it, why can't NRS do it? I mean, they should. I mean, they've got qualified people that can, you know, tell them. But anyway, what I'm getting to is what if Superman, we have 2 health bar systems, you have 100%, 100%. What if Superman had 70% for the first health bar and 80% for the second health bar versus Bane, who has 100%, 100%? Is that matchup a lot easier now? Maybe a little bit easier, or maybe he has 2 70% bar health. So he has a total of 140% health. 140% health, and Bane's got 200% health. I think that matchup is a little bit better now, where you have all the S tier characters. Imagine if you do Aquaman, Black Adam, and Superman, each with 140% or 150% health bars. And then you've got the shitty characters in the game like Lobo with 200% health. Or Lex Luthor. What do you guys think about that matchup all of a sudden? Like, does that change things? You keep all the tools, keep your 8-frame brain dead fucking mid-launcher Punisher. But sorry, you are the Akuma in this game, fucker. You cannot have 200% health. It does not make sense that you have OP tools in this game, and you cannot have the same health that this shitty-ass character design can.
Well, let me tell you this. In Akuma, obviously in the latest version, version 2012, he's still the best character in the game.
Yeah.
Dalsim in Super Turbo is still the best character in the game, even though he has the least amount of life and whatever stun meter.
Mm-hmm.
I think even Yun in Third Strike, but don't quote me. So it's really like you're only tackling the problem short term, but not long term. Because eventually people are gonna get good with those characters anyway, and they'll know which situations are favorable for them, to take risk, and which are not. Just like with Dazzling, for example, it takes a long time to get good, but once you do, 90% of the cast can never get close to you. So
okay, but that's kind of like Kenshi versus Cage. Now, Kerbo will touch me once. Like, he'll get in on me one time. I will 16-bit. Every single tournament we've ever played, even when I'm at my highest, like, I'm just playing the absolute pig best. Like, it's like fucking unbeatable in that matchup. He still gets a combo per round on me. That right there changes things. I mean, I don't know. I think if we're not changing damage here. We're not changing frame data. We're just saying I cannot make a mistake anymore. Like, I have to play perfect, and it almost makes the matchup, because of dominant tools, it almost makes it even. I do not know as much as you do about AE, so I'm all ears about that. But Akuma.
No. The point is the characters who have the most tools, regardless of their health, usually, but not always, end up being, one of the better characters in the game. And same thing with, Seth. It's about how really, like, they take, once you hit them, they bleed. But at the same time, they have a lot of tools, and they still end up being really, really good. Now, they may not be as easy to use as Superman, but 60-man, what do you think about this?
Well,
I don't like.
let me say one other thing. I'm worried about nerfing Superman. Quite honestly, I would, and I mean every word I'm about to say. I rather NRS not nerf any character in this game. This is the game that they decided to sit down and make, and this is what Paulo wants. This is Paulo's dream. This is everything that he thinks is right. I don't want to be the guy. You shouldn't be the guy. None of us should be the guy to tell him that he's wrong. Even though a lot of us have said publicly, you're probably wrong. This character's probably fucking horseshit. However, this is his baby that he's worked on for 2.5 years. Who the fuck are we to tell him that he's wrong or right? I'm just scared that if they start nerfing Superman, okay, what are you going to do about Black Adam? Okay, now we nerf Black Adam. Okay, what are you going to do about Aquaman? Okay, what are you going to do about Batman? What are you going to do about Flash that you have buffed 3 times? Okay, we nerf him. So you nerf all 5 of these characters, and it just becomes this continuous cycle. Everyone starts ending up like Scorpion. You know what I mean?
But, Pig, it is, for me, it has already begun, and I know you don't want me to talk about it, but just look at Destro, for example. And so wouldn't even, argue Doomsday, maybe, I don't know. I'm just saying, like, and even Killer Frost, let's be, for 60-bit's sake, she was nerfed a lot now. I mean, she lost a lot of her cancel advantage, but like 15 frames. Like, and once you start going the route, you have to look at the other characters. I mean, I don't know, like, somebody else comment.
I don't like the idea because, in my opinion, if a character with dominant tools, it's not just about the matchup number. Like, when I fight Kenshi, it's not just frustrating because I lose in tournament. It's just not fun to fight a match where I can't do anything. Where literally all I can do is hope I jump a barge. all right, instead of jumping a barge 3 times, I have to jump a barge once. That makes it more winnable. And maybe a couple of those MLGs I would have beat you, but it still would be an extremely unfun matchup to play. So I would be more in favor of if a character has dominant tools. If Superman's tools, if 4-2-3 just shuts down the ability for other characters to play the game reasonably, I would rather that be nerfed than to just say, well, now he does less damage. I think that's, as Dave said, kind of easier way to do it than for the benefit of the game to be more, for matchups to be more fun. I'd be more in favor of that.
But I think
And
also, yeah, I just hate to interrupt you, but I just want to get this point across. I think, you just mentioned something important, in my opinion. Not fun. And honestly, in this game, a lot of characters force you to play their game. Whether you like it or not, you will have to.
right.
And
Black
that
Adam.
just, yeah, like pretty much Black Adam. And I think, is there anywhere even around that? Because what the top tier characters do in almost any fighting game, they make you play the game. Whether you want it or not, you will. Just like, Kenshi does, just like Freddy does, like you will have to get in on him, what are you going to do? You can't zone him, obviously. So a lot of, just same thing with Black Adam. I mean, 90% of the cast has to chase that stupid character, and they will never catch up to him. They'll maybe catch him once, but, that's not going to be good enough. So I don't know.
Well, all right. I'll go back to MK9 because it's a game I know more about matchups about. I mean,
Okay.
just because it's been out for the longest time. Molina is the 7-3 matchup versus Cabal. I can name you 2 majors I would have won if this health system were part of the game, because then the matchup versus my opponent of any time would have been even. Sometimes we lose matchups, not because we were outplayed, but because the matchup is fucked up. For example, Sinestro versus Killer Frost at Midwestern Championships. Go back and watch that match. No one in their right fucking mind can tell me that matchup is 5-5. However, if Killer Frost during that series had 140 health or 150 health and I had 200 health or even 180 health, I would have been the Midwestern champion. It would have been a 5-5 matchup, and we could not make equal. Like, we would have to play each other equally based on the health given to us. This is why Capcom gets it right. They give these characters, all right, Seth. Think about Seth. You either die a perfect or win a perfect with Seth. Think about Akuma. You either die being dominated, or you win dominated. That's how Capcom does it. They're okay with giving you 4-2-3 in the Capcom world, but they say, you know what? If we give you this shit, you're not allowed to have all of this crap. And I think that's where we're missing out here. I am worried about if they start on the nerf wagon. I don't want them to nerf Superman. I'd rather them not nerf Superman, just because then you got Aquaman, then you got Black Adam. I mean, think about it. Really, really think about that. When does it stop? When do we get to the mid-tier characters where it stops?
Well, I would say, first off, I'd say they don't give you, Capcom doesn't really give you dominating tools. It's not like Seth and Akuma are so good because they just absolutely destroy everyone. They're more like they're super well-rounded. Like Seth's design is having a little bit, he has like the best moves. He has like a sonic boom, he has a dragon punch, he has Dalsim's limbs, like he has a little bit of everything rather than like one thing that's broke. And I'd also say that Capcom doesn't always get it right. They have a lot of times they'll have a character who's not that good, who has really low health, and it really fucks them over. Like, when I was talking to this earlier, I brought up, like, do you want Melina? Do you want the logic to be, oh, Melina, she's a woman, she needs low health?
No,
That
that's stupid.
sucks.
No,
Yeah.
no. I don't want to do health based on gender or nationality or.
What nationality?
Wait, did they like say like Indians are weaker?
Damn, that's
That's
racist.
racist.
I'm joking. Obviously, I was laughing. However,
What about Kenyans?
dude, they would be fast. They would be the fastest in the game. They would be the fastest in the game.
Oh my God! Let's
Oh my
move.
God, man.
Let's just switch real quick here.
Dude, no, seriously, they're fast. Are you kidding me? There's nothing.
Well, they are, but I'm just
They come down to Georgia and kill our races on July 4th.
Damn.
Oh my god! All right.
What are you
Would,
talking about?
would Americans be like really slow and fat? Like would
Yeah.
they? That'd be fun.
Oh, okay, listen, if I was listening to a Kenyan podcast and Kenyans were talking about like Americans that are like they're slow and fat, I'd be like, yeah. I'm telling them they're fast. What does that mean?
Yeah, I mean, your idea about making it more like Capcom. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I feel like a lot of there's people in this community that are maybe a section of it that hate. I mean, I'm not. A lot of people don't. I'm saying, but maybe some people like hate the way Capcom treats the community, so they resent maybe Capcom, and they say, "Oh, we don't want to be anything like Capcom." But if you look at, I mean, I watched Capcom. I watched the EVO finals of Capcom as well on Sunday. So not only did I watch the MK games, I watched their games too, and it's night and day how much hyper their games were than Injustice, like night and day, and it a lot of
I just hate to interrupt you. I just wanna say that because I think
yeah
this is important to say.
yeah
Their games are more hype because they've been around for so much longer. I think that's very important to note. It's like
okay
like look at these NK players. They're not hype. That's not true. First of all, do not trash our players. They did their best job. Do not say that. What I'm obviously you have to consider like Street Fighter has been around forever. They have had a scene forever, and
right
this is and in part why there is evolution is because of Street Fighter. I mean, this is so I just want to say that out there, and to everybody who's saying look at all these injustices and MK players, they don't know anything about hype. Yes, they do. It's just that obviously we have a lot of growing to do, so it's not fair to make such an assumption.
no, I'm not talking about the players.
It's not just you. It's
I'm
not
talking
just you.
about I'm talking about the game. Like what
Yeah.
I'm saying is, you watched MK9.
Well,
That
even
was
their
super
games,
hype.
even their games are older than ours too.
Right. No, I understand the age factor, but I'm talking about just from my perspective. For instance, I bought 2 copies of Injustice. Right, whenever the game first came out, Xbox and PS3. I bought the guide. Okay, and I don't know. I didn't really need it, but I just bought it because friends wrote it, and it would be cool to have, kind of thing. Right. So I bought 2 copies. I bought the guide. I invested money. I traveled for it, things like that. Locally, but still. And I dropped it after ECT. And the reason why I dropped it is because I wasn't having fun, even when I was winning. So basically, I was like, I'm winning and I'm not having fun. I'm losing, I don't care. So I was like, why should I spend time on something I really don't really care about? So that's for me why I dropped it. Now, I don't know why, if somebody else complains they dropped it for Superman, that's up to them. But just watching Injustice versus pretty much all the other games at EVO, you could see that there's a fundamental difference by the walk speed in Injustice, the way whiff punishing works, the way footsies work, compared to almost all the other games at EVO. And it really makes it like people just... I mean, this is from my perspective. A lot of the matches were people standing full screen, basically crawling across the screen, throwing TVs at each other, and then once in a while you see... A lot of the times you see Superman just doing the same move over and over again. It's like... I just did... I mean... I don't know. There's a problem. I don't know if it's a problem with the game or the problem with the way maybe you guys are right. The level of play is really low right now, or maybe it's just that certain characters are really unbalanced compared to the low tier characters. To me, the game seems like it's balanced very much like MK9. Like basically, you have 5 to 8 characters that are really good, and some mid tier characters and other characters who can't compete with the top tier characters. I mean, what do you guys think about that?
I feel like what bothers me about the game
Yeah.
is the top 5 characters in the game. I would say right now it would be Superman, Flash, Black Adam, Aquaman, and Batman. Okay, so all 5 of these characters I just named have one thing in common, except Flash. I'd say 4 out of those 5. Each one of them have only one thing you want to do. Like, high level in this game to me right now, Flash versus Black Adam is dive kick versus down 2 slide. And I'm worried about that. Like, you go in the moves list, you see all these moves, you see all these strings, you see all these special moves, whatever. Doesn't matter. It's a bunch of horseshit. Because when it turns out to be a real match, I'm scared that high levels Deathstroke versus Flash, I mean, not Flash, high level Deathstroke versus Frost is jump back 3, jump back 3, jump back 3, and hope it hits and confirm into a combo, and that is up against down 2 slide. Not against 1-1-2 or back 1 to whatever she's got. It doesn't matter. None of that crap matters. it just comes down to who the hell can land their bullshit first. It's like Superman's 4-2-3 versus Aquaman's back 1-2, or his retarded, excuse me, I was choked, retarded down 2.
Right.
But Mortal Kombat, even in 2011, it was never about that. Yeah, we can talk about 2-4 low hat, Kung Lao, but no, Carl actually did a lot more. There's a lot more stuff he did. 2-1, the 2-1 combos, the 1-1-2. I mean, the pressure, the pokes, the footsies, the 4-3s. I mean, the teleport options. I mean, there's tons of shit. I mean, there's a bunch of different variety on the screen versus, Molina, Cyrax, even Cabal back then was really fun to watch. Katana. There's a lot of variety, even within 2 or 3 months of that game. Even at the PvP tournament, within a month, there was a lot of variety in characters, a lot of variety of strings, a lot of variety of techniques. But in this game, it just seems like everyone runs to the top 5, top 6, and says, I'm going to use this one string and that one special, and I'm ready to go. Let's go.
It seems like because maybe they're easy to use.
Well, Wonder Chef beat 16-bit with Black Adam and was apologizing mid-match about never having used that character ever.
What the hell?
I mean, he's used that character on Wednesday Night Fights. But, yeah, I mean, a lot of the top characters are pretty simple. It's not... Green Lantern is one that's really, really simple.
Well, 60, let me ask you this. What is that matchup, in your opinion, that Killer Frost? Because a lot of people want to hear your thoughts on that. Killer Frost against Black Adam.
I think it's a bad match for Killer Frost. I used to not for a long time, and I think maybe when her damage wasn't nerfed, it might have been even. The damage might have kind of equalized it, but I think ultimately, it really, as far as I can tell, she basically can't do anything but hope to air him. Get resets going, guess right enough times, and against both my losses at EVO were to Black Adam. MIT and then Chef beat me with Black Adam. And it basically came down to I went in really desperate. Like I was kind of worried about it, and I felt like I had to beat them quickly. I felt like if they got a life lead, they'd run away, and I wouldn't be able to catch them. So I made a lot of dumb mistakes, a lot of dashing, a lot of bad jumps, just kind of sloppy, desperate play. And then because of the fear of them getting the life lead and running, I made mistakes, so they got the life lead. And then I'm like, now he's going to start running. I need to be even more desperate, which just, the pile of shit grew bigger as it was going. So then I'm down a game, and I'm like, all right, now I have to get more desperate, and I'm up to my eyebrows in shit. And basically then I'm pieced out, and I'm hella salty in the crowd watching the rest of the tournament.
Well, but that matchup was honestly, I'm not just saying this, to put you on blast, but even Master D, he did very well against you casuals, right, at UFGT, didn't he?
Yeah, he was probably the best that I played in terms of like giving him the most trouble.
But so I think that matchup was probably always bad for her. Just he even said, what's the big deal about Killer Frost? I'm just gonna run away all day. And the point is this. We can talk about life bars and all that, but the way here's Black Adam. He can move like freaking like Claw, like Vega and Super Turbo, like just all over the place. And yet in this game, you're stuck, moving like a snail. And that's the problem. That's the whole issue with Black Adam. You can't move for shit, yet he's around jumping, he's on the other side of the screen. It just doesn't work. That's the reason, it was even worse before because of, roofed up. But now it's not as bad, but still, I think that's the problem with Black Adam. It's just the mobility in this game is so bad that you can't possibly have something so powerful that the other characters can't possibly ever catch up. Once he gets a life lead, and maybe unless you're Deathstroke, he can kind of keep him in check. Superman, a few other characters, you have no chance.
Yeah, so because it's like you're saying, the walk speed is so slow that when you dash, can he not check you with that black magic thing?
Well, yeah, pretty much.
That's the problem. So you can't even move, and then you have to be afraid of the freaking instant air dive kick too. It's like, okay, that character's fucked up.
16-bit, do you think that's the problem? It's just that his mobility in this game is in comparison to the others, it's almost not fair. Would you agree that's probably the problem?
Yeah, I think that's why he is, in my opinion, one of the top characters in the game, and that's why he's so frustrating to fight. That's what you can't catch him. Like what I need to do if I was gonna beat those guys, I needed to let him jump back and just walk forward, let him jump back, walk forward, wait till he's in the corner. Then he's gonna have to make his read. He's gonna have to start neutral jumping, or he's gonna have to start jumping forward, or he's gonna have to gasp, play the game, and then I could have won. But I was worried about what would happen if I got hit. I didn't want to walk because of how slow her movement is, and I started jumping and dashing like an idiot, and that's exactly that frustration. That's what got to me. And I mean, obviously, you got to give them props for they played the match correctly, but I feel like I beat myself at EVO because it's so frustrating to deal with. I didn't want to do what it takes to win that matchup, and I got bodied for it.
Well, doesn't you think that it lends to the game, like when I was saying the hype compared to other games, because basically once you go down in life in a situation like that, there's no round reset to reset it like in pretty much every other game. So when you have a round reset, then okay, let's start over. You got me that round, whatever. But in this game, that doesn't exist. So basically, once you're down in life, it's like I'm dead. I have to make a bunch of stupid decisions to try to come back. Like I don't know. That's maybe that what I'm saying is earlier lending itself to it not being that hype because of like there's not really a comeback factor in the game at all.
I do think that's.
Well,
Sorry,
I think I'm saying like, well, the point Killer Frost can come back. Doesn't she have like one of the best comeback factors in the game? I mean, she has the reset, but the problem is, how are you gonna catch him? He's like Bird Law. He's like never in the ground.
Bird Adam.
Yeah. So the problem is, I think the problem is in this game, and I like zoning, but oh my God, the plays and movement should have been so much better. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
You should be able to dash out in and out. I think if everybody has some quote unquote BS to abuse, that everybody's happy. If I can zone and 60 can do whatever his foot sees, we can do whatever he's like, and Pig can do whatever like Claude can do whatever he likes. Everybody's happy. But when you have like certain guys who are good and others are not, then people are not happy. You know what I mean? Like when you have Superman and then you have somebody, I don't know, like Lobo, that obviously people are not going to be happy. So I don't know. I think that's just my perspective. But let me ask before I forget. Let me ask Pig. We talked about just 60. We just talked about his thoughts, how he did. How do you think you did Injustice? And because I know you're not happy. And what are you going to do from here?
I'm actually fine. Beating CD Junior knocked me out of MK last year 2-1. So returning the favor and knocking him to losers and Injustice 2-1 felt really good. Plus he plays Superman, so that's kind of like the icing on the cake. I really like Manny. When I'm not playing Manny or CD Junior, whatever you want to call him, when I'm not playing him, I want him to win. I like to see Junior win. But when I'm playing Junior and he knocked me out of the tournament of EVO at MK9 last year and got third, I don't know. I really wanted to, whether it be MK or Injustice, I wanted to beat him. So beating him was kind of like, it was probably my biggest win in an Injustice Major or, any kind of a tournament so far. So it felt good to get that monkey off my back. Plus, every major I've been to for Injustice, every streamed match, I lost. Like, I was getting sick and fucking tired of, here was a loss again because I'm streamed. And it's like I couldn't catch a break. I looked like shit every match I played. Actually, even when I won against Junior, I looked like shit. I went back and watched it. I can't watch it more than once. And this is so many dumb shit I did. Okay, so the two people I lost to were Rio and Nightmare SF. I have been trying to tell every Batman player that they all need to level the fuck up because that matchup is not good for Sinestro. It's just here's the deal. I've played two Batmans in my Injustice life that can play the Sinestro matchup correctly. And it happens to be Rio and Nightmare SF. And guess who I have to play in EVO? Rio in that order to Nightmare SF. And if I would have played any other Batman, I would have mopped them up clean and just wasn't worried about a damn thing. Nightmare matchup was actually pretty close. I don't know how he dashed my trait shot twice and he jumped over 2 meter burn back threes perfectly. That was my fault. I should have just been more patient and waited for the jump and down two'd. There's a lot of things I could do better in that matchup versus him. Rio, honestly, I mean, I even told him at the end of the match, I was like, you would get dumpster. Like at the first matchup, I see the random stage, it's fucking dumpster street. And I'm like, God damn it. Like, I had to deal with Batman's grapple and bats and zoning batarangs and now dumpsters. So, by the time I got rid of the dumpster, my whole light bar was gone. That was shitty. That was shitty luck. But, I mean, he didn't beat me because of a dumpster. He just beat me because he beat me. I know Wound Cowboy is very upset with Sinestro and the direction of the game, that it's dominated by 5 to 6 characters. He's already dropped Sinestro completely and is going all black at him. He has recommended I do the same thing. I will guarantee you people this. I got 17th at EVO. I got 9th at CEO. And I got, 13th at UFGT. I'm going to guarantee everyone this. The next event I go to, I am guaranteed top 8. That's number 1. Number 2, and I guess I wasn't going to do this yet, but I'll go and throw it out there because I'm getting that mindset. KDZ, next time I play you in tournament, I will beat you. 100%, I will beat you. And that's all I'm going to say about that.
Wait, let me ask you this. Is it true that you're taking a break?
Here's the deal. I do have a 10 to 20% chance of going to the Fall Classic. That's work related. But I'm going to try to go. However, it just happens to be on a really shitty weekend for me. Anyway, I'm going to try to go still. But I will not travel to any major, EVO, MLG, if it happens, or any such tournament ever again until I know I'm 1,000% ready and I have every single player and matchup playing to 100% T, because I mean what I say. The next major I go to, I'm going to get top 8. If I play KDZ, I'm going to beat him. And if I play you listening to me right now, anyone out there, I'm going to beat you. And I'm going to be mean about it, and I'm going to come in with a vengeance.
Are you gonna reveal on the show what character you're gonna use, or is that?
I know who I'm going to use, but
Are you gonna say
No.
right now?
I don't need to say, because
Okay.
it's not going to matter when someone plays me whenever I go to the next major. Let's say MLG announces and it's in November. I will definitely be ready for that tournament. I can guarantee people. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what character they play. It doesn't matter if they pick Superman. It doesn't matter if they pick Flash. I will definitely be ready, and I'm coming to body all, because the results of 9th, 13th, and 17th at EVO, mind you, they were all massive tournaments. Those placements are absolutely unacceptable and below any standard that I have for myself when I put time into something. I don't wake up daily living to get 9th, 17th, or 13th in anything I do. I don't do it. It's not my blood. So I will not attend another major until I'm fucking ready. And when I'm ready, people need to understand, when I sign up for a major, they need to understand that I'm ready, and that's why I signed up for that major.
So no VX. What's that tournament in Dominican Republic?
I'm absolutely 100% not going to VXG.
Okay.
One reason
You're not going. 100% not going.
100% not attending.
Okay.
Because it's $650 flight, and then you tack on hotel costs, and then you tack on the fact that some players who were supposed to get free flights due to winning majors haven't gotten their flight information yet. And that screams to me money issues, and that screams to me it could be a possible Devastation 2011 issue. And there's nothing about that tournament that I want to go to. I hope that tournament is really, really awesome. I hope everyone has a great time. I hope people win and make lots of money, and I'm jealous that I didn't go. However, even if someone sent me $1,000 to go right now, I wouldn't go because I'm not ready. It's apparent to me at UFGT, CEO, and EVO, I am not ready to compete yet. So, but I warn everyone, I will get ready. If you had trouble with me before, then you're really going to be fucking in trouble when I come back to majors. And that's all I have to say about that.
Okay, well, you heard it here on the Kryptonite Council podcast first. Pig is not ready, but next tournament he's going to beat all of you. So there you have it. But I want to switch on to 16-bit.
All right.
You told me you were quitting. Well, actually, you kind of told everybody, not just me. You were quitting Killer Frost. Is that true?
That is absolutely true.
Well,
I might use her for a couple matchups that I'm super familiar with, but she is no longer my main for sure.
Well, that just begs the question: who's your new main, and where do you take your game from here?
My new main is the character I always should have mained. I know I always should have mained, and I regret not maining her. My new main is Catwoman. By far my favorite character in the game, my favorite comic book character. I absolutely love her design, but I went with the character that I thought gave me the best chance to compete. And I did really well in casuals with Killer Frost, but in tournament, she's not my character. I'm not really sure why, but everyone that I play in casuals after I lose in tournament, they're all like, "You played like shit. What are you doing? You don't play like that against us." And I look at my matches and I kind of explain why I lost at EVO, the desperation.
Well, honestly, I would say when I played your UFGT, I'm like, oh my god, this guy's gonna body everybody. Because I couldn't literally get one game. I got some, let's face it, gimmicky wins with Hawkgirl, but the point is, you are still only losing to one character, in my opinion. Yeah, he's a BS character, everybody knows it, but I mean, you've still done a lot. I mean, you're still right there, in my opinion. I mean, do you see where I'm going?
Well, I lost to Superman, I've lost to Harley, and I'm just not happy with my play in tournament. It's for whatever reason, when I get in tournament in a 2 out of 3 set, I don't feel that I have a good instinct for Killer Frost. I don't feel comfortable. Like, I think I have a good understanding of how she works, but when it matters, I don't feel like I'm doing well. And more importantly than that, she's I think Killer Frost is kind of cool. She's like a character that I would alt. But she's not my favorite character, and a couple of days before EVO, a friend of mine was at a comic book shop and he texted me saying, "There's a Catwoman statue that I have. I'm gonna buy it for you, and you can pay me back because it's one that you don't own yet." And I'm like, "That's awesome." And he sent me a picture, and I'm like, "That's tight." And then I thought, "Wait a minute, I'm going to Vegas and I'm not even gonna play Selena. What the fuck is that? How dumb is that? Why I made for 2 years I played my favorite character. Like why am I not playing my favorite character? Especially when I'm not even winning. Like I basically gave up Katana to go to Cabal, and I'm getting 9th and 17th and shit like that. What is that crap? So since I came back, I have been playing Catwoman, and I'm having a lot more fun. I'm a lot happier. I do not think that I'm now magically going to do well in tournament and become this godlike. I don't think I'm going to win VXG. I probably won't even place top 8. But I think I'm going to be a lot more happier playing a character that I like rather than a character I think is just kind of cool. And it's actually really I'm not emo at all. I feel more motivated to play, like I'm excited to play, way more than I was. Where Killer Frost, it felt like, oh, she's really cheap, I can do well. So training was like a job. Whereas now I'm like excited. Like when I win with Catwoman, it's a lot more fun. Playing her is a lot more fun. I wish I would have done this the week before EVO. I actually thought about this. Pig, I think I even texted you this.
Yeah, you did.
Saying I don't Killer Frost is just not my character. I'm thinking about playing Catwoman and just seeing what happens. And I thought about that before CEO. I thought about that after CEO. Every fucking tournament.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, I should just ban Selena. She's awesome. And then I didn't. So now I'm definitely doing it. Fuck it.
What about Wonder Woman?
Yes.
I think Wonder Woman's a great character, and at one point I thought about maining her, and I think she really suits me, her long-range footsies game.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, she's just not my character either. Like, I don't like the two stances. Like,
Yeah.
from a design perspective, I do like. I think it's brilliant design, but it doesn't suit me. It's not something I want to deal with, and I just don't think she's as fun to play. Like, to me, my favorite characters in the game are Hawkgirl and Catwoman. They're like the coolest, and I think Catwoman, I don't know if she'll suit me, because she's really heavily based on Rushdown.
Mhm.
So I might actually do worse, but fuck it,
Well,
I don't care. We'll see.
Where do you think she stands in your, tier list or whatever ranking system in comparison, like with Killer Frost? Is she? I assume she's probably worse, right?
I think Catwoman is pretty good, but probably massively overrated by a lot of people. I think she has some pretty difficult matchups. Like, if you can really control her jumping and really control her like at sweep distance, I think she has a lot of trouble. I think she loses. I think Aquaman, I said I might still use Killer Frost in a couple matchups. Aquaman is probably one. First off, because I know it really well, because I train with Dizzy a lot. And I might use Killer Frost against Doomsday and maybe Green Lantern.
And Deathstroke, man. Don't even fool
Deathstroke,
yourself.
yeah. Deathstroke. I'll see how it goes. Me and Slips will start playing Deathstroke versus Catwoman. And if he's like winning, but it's not like bad, I'd probably use Catwoman. We'll see how it goes. Like, I'm excited for the next few tournaments. I'm actually more excited because, like, I want to go to VXG to play Catwoman and see what happens. I don't care. Like, I'd love to play, like, KDZ with Catwoman because I have nothing to lose at this point. Can we stop pretending that I'm, like, this godlike Frost player? Like, PR Balrog did better than me.
Well, that was going to be my next question. What do you think about his Killer Frost? Because honestly, it seemed kind of very awkward. But he was doing like up three, or something like that, right into setups.
Yeah, he's doing that because up three's a hard knockdown. So after the third up
it
three,
isn't a hard. Oh, I didn't know that. Wow.
Yeah, then he dashes under, and then it reverses the controls of your wake up. So that's pretty decent. It's like a mirrorless reset.
But is it more of a gimmick or is it like a legitimate mix-up?
I think PR Balrog is a very awesome player, but he was in a bracket full of people who didn't know how to fight that character.
Okay.
Yeah, I think
he's a great player.
I definitely, when I played the mirror at CEO, that was actually streamed. I won, but I got the feeling that he was good. Like, I talked to him a little bit about Killer Frost, and I thought he was onto something. I thought all he needed was better combos.
Yeah.
And to know matchups, and I thought he would be pretty good. I didn't think he'd get top 8 at EVO. I thought he was a couple of months away from being good. And I do think he kind of got lucky with the, what do you call it, bracketology or whatever?
For bracketology.
Bracketology. I think he got lucky in that regard. And I also think Gridman just fucking blew it. That match to get in the top 8 it made me want to vomit. Like, the amount of terrible clutch moments that was unbelievable. You remember that? Like, the last hit was terrible.
I was shaking my head for 3.5 minutes.
That was so bad, I think a judge should have came out and said, neither place. There is no second, 7th place finisher. This is not top 7.
I think the worst Evolution match, like, from the, later in the bracket that I saw was, I forgot the bad girl player's name against Ares. That was atrocious. He did this. He was up like, I don't know, like, did you guys see that match?
Yeah, OGBY or something like that?
Yeah. I mean, he was up, I don't know how, and he just did a random, like, super move out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, what the hell am I watching? He actually came back, I don't know, it was just so bad. I was like, wow, I just can't, I couldn't believe it. But anyway.
Can we talk about PR Balrog real quick?
Yeah.
Can I be Hollywood for 1 second and drop the name?
Go for it.
So at ECT, I was hanging out with CD Junior, and he's made a lot of friends with the top Capcom players.
Yeah.
So like I just found myself randomly hanging out with Pierre Balrog, Ricky Ortiz, like all the top Capcom players. I was just like randomly in hotel rooms with them, pretty much. So I was just like sitting there. I'm like, okay, this is cool, So I kind of got to like talk to them a little bit and like see what they're like and see if they're any different than us, kind of thing, Mm-hmm. And they expressed their opinions on Injustice and on Mortal Kombat as well. That was interesting. And but basically, their opinions were basically that they didn't really like the game. I'll be honest with you, from what I heard, just for the most part, like that was a general consensus. But they were like, Ricky Ortiz definitely doesn't like it, but Ricky doesn't like Mortal Kombat either.
Yeah, what did he say about it? I don't like this game. This game's ass.
Ricky literally said that he doesn't understand why any game would have a different system than Street Fighter. Like, that's literally what he said. He was like, I don't understand why anyone would make a game that isn't the same exact fighting system. And we were all like, well, because it would be boring. I mean, it would be boring if every game was like that.
That's just kind of ignorant.
Yeah.
But anyway, but P.O. Balrog seemed like a really cool guy, like when we were hanging out,
Yeah, he's cool.
So like when that happened, I was like, now I kind of root for him when I see him because like I hung out with him once and he was cool, kind of thing, So anyway, so Pierre Balrog's Killer Frost at CEO, I tweeted as a joke to 16-bit, oh, Pierre Balrog's got the best Killer Frost, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And it turns out that joke, you can't. Hey, he made top 8 at EVO. Who's better? Basically, basically that's it. So
No, I think. Well, I think saying that I still think 16-bit is the best Killer Frost out there.
Well, he has a medal saying otherwise, and I have no problem holding that.
I don't care.
But
I care. I mean, that's what the fuck we're playing for, right? I don't give a shit about being king of casuals. I don't give a shit.
No, I'm not
about beating
talking
people in a hotel room.
Steve, I'm not talking about casual. I understand that. I'm talking about how. Let's face it. He had one of the easier brackets, right? Can we all agree with that?
It is what it is. I mean,
I know it is what it is, but here's what: winning early in a game like this, and it was with MK like that too. Look back at MK, who was winning in the beginning, and then look a couple of years later.
16-bit was.
He was, right? He was one of the people, ironically. And look, who's winning, right now. I'm just saying, to me, and that's the reason why I don't. And Pig talked about how he's not going to travel. That's the reason why I don't travel, because I don't think I'm not ready. I don't think the game keeps changing. We have these all new DLCs coming out. I just can't. My philosophy is, what? I'm just going to wait it out. When NRS decides to stop patching, I'm actually going to sit down with Master D, with my local crew, and I'm going to learn the game. And I think that's when you can say, you know what? He played a game when it was at the highest level, and he won, and he's the best. And that's what I think he'll do. So, I don't know. That's why I'm not saying PR Barrog is bad or anything. I'm just saying I think you will play the game when at the highest level. When everybody, like MK, is being played at the highest level right now. You will play Injustice at the highest level, and you will win at that time. So
can we talk about? Let's give some props to the EVO standouts in Injustice at EVO.
Hang on, can I just make one little point about that?
Yeah.
Even though these tournaments I'm not doing that well, I have to say they're a blast. You guys, Pig, you're gonna be missing out. I got bodied in Injustice, and I ranted to the GGA guys. I was yelling at them, obviously blaming them for my loss, not myself, obviously, for about 10 minutes. And then the hotel shenanigans started, and it's awesome.
Wait. Talk about the hotel shenanigans.
Before we get into, let me just give a shout out to one good player who did well this weekend, because I think we talked about Nightmare, we talked about PR Barrock. Let me talk about Blind Man. He's the one who got like top 10 or something like that.
Hold on. We'll get back to that. Do hotel.
Okay.
I mean, I'm just saying, I'm gonna go to VXG with Catwoman, and if I get bodied, I'm gonna be emo. But then I'm gonna go in the hotel room and I'll start blowing up Tommy and playing Kung Lao versus Katana for some reason with Rio, and it's gonna be awesome. I would never, no matter what, I would never stop going to these tournaments because the community is so fun to hang out with. But anyway, hotel shenanigans. Where do we start? How about Blake? It's the middle of the night on Sunday. Blake, I don't know how he got my room number. He's more than welcome to come hang out in the room, but I don't know how he got the number. He randomly comes into the room and he's holding this giant plastic bag. And Rio is like, "What's in that bag?" And he goes, "It's an oversized cheeseburger, and you do not want to touch it." And we're all like, "What the fuck? What?"
Dude, I love your impression.
Me too. I love your... Dude, that was awesome. Your impression was spot on, man.
It sounds like you're Ricky Ortiz.
Yeah.
What? And Rio's like, "What? Why would I want to touch your cheeseburger? What does that mean?" And then he asks, "Where's Pig?" And we're like, "Dude, he's gone." And we're like, "Oh, he's not playing casuals?" And we're like, "No, dude, he's gone. Back to Atlanta." And he's like, "Oh, dear." And so he has to go look for Reno racks. And he's like, "I'm going to go look for Reno racks." And he just leaves. And we're like, is Blake now going to be winding in the strip just looking for Reno racks? Is he just going to be walking up and down the strip saying, "Has anyone seen Reno racks?" We were like, how is he going to get home? What's going on? And what was with that fucking oversized hamburger?
He did not want you to touch.
Yeah. What would have happened if Rio touched it?
It's not It's not that he didn't want you to touch it. It was that you should not touch it.
Yeah, it was very, very serious that you do not want to touch that fucking cheeseburger. Like, there are only two possibilities. Either the cheeseburger, there's something rotten about it and it like bite you or something.
Yeah.
Or that if you touched it, he'd go ape shit because he wanted it so bad. And both of those are weird.
Yeah. Tell them the glass sword story.
Oh, that's what I was just going to ask you guys. Was there any glass swords?
Well, there is a glass sword story that happened last night at an MK9 local, but I want that Steve didn't know about yet. But I want Steve to go ahead.
So we're doing this team battle.
Yeah.
And obviously I choose Glass Sword so that Pig can't. And Glass Sword's fighting Bro Killer, the reptile player, who's doing pretty good. His reptile looked pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
And he beats Glass Sword. And Glass Sword is like, oh, another bad match for Smoke. And I'm like, what are you talking about? How is that a bad match for Smoke? You block one dash and you end the round. What are you talking about? And he loses it. He's like, oh, I know, I just suck. I can't beat anyone. Not even this random reptile player.
Poor dude is sitting right there.
Yeah, dude's sitting right there. Yeah. And Pig has told him. Pig is like, it's not a random. Pig's like, this is one of my online training partners. Like, this is who I train Jackson Reptile with.
Yeah.
And he's just this random, like, we found him off the street. We're like on the strip going, MK setups. And the guy's like, I'll play. So he's already mad. And then later, we're talking about, I think it was Kenshi.
Wait, by the way, 60, you're surprised that Smoke players are disrespectful? Is that, I don't,
I mean, obviously.
You can't be surprised. Obviously,
Obviously, they're down players. Obviously, anyone that can make them think slightly beats their character. They're the worst. So later, Glass Sword is sitting on this couch, and we're arguing about Scorpion versus Kenshi or something. We've been arguing about this for about 5 hours. And Glass Sword starts to speak up. And he's like, well, in 2001, that part of the metagame, and instantly about 8 different guys are like, I think we all in unison said, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, all 8 of us said that.
Anything. He absolutely loses it. He stands up and he's like, fuck you, Brant! Let me speak! I'm tired of my words not having any weight! And he's just ranting. We all blew him up. We all were like, what the fuck are you talking about? But he focused on Pig, and Pig is like, Austin, calm down. It's like, fuck you, Brant! And then he disappears. We're all like, where's Glass Sword? Where is he? And he's gone. And we're like, dude, I think he jumped off the balcony. But it turned out he was actually hiding in the hot tub.
He's actually in the hot tub. That's awesome.
Dude, this is what people who don't go to tournaments like. This is like the fun part of it. Like,
that's what I'm saying.
This is why I go.
Yeah, this is the MK9. These are the MK9 team tournaments afterwards. It was awesome. We had like 30. What like 20 people in the room? Maybe 20, 30.
Yeah.
We had some great matches too.
Yeah, the hotel shenanigans are the number. Even if I go 2-0 at VXG in both games, all right, to be honest, I'd kill myself. But even if I get like 13th in both games, the hotel shenanigans are what makes the tournaments.
Yeah, I can definitely vouch for that, because Massey was telling me after in the hotel room, I think it was your hotel room at UFGD, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Massey was saying, dude, the reactions between Tom Brady and 16-bit, oh my god, I was like, I just wish somebody could have recorded it. Like, that was so fucking awesome, dude.
Yeah. Tom yelling at you, you yelling at Tom, me yelling at Tom, all of us yelling at each other, and then Glass Sword yells at all of us.
Yeah. I'll never forget Tom's, I'm outplaying you. And like, I absolutely lost it.
No. Yeah, that's probably my favorite one of the last 2 years, is where Tom just gets beat by 16-bit Killer Frost, like literally 20-1, and he gets up and looks Bit in the eye and goes, I just outplayed you. And 16-bit immediately huffs and puffs and then looks at me for comfort or something, and then just stands up and just goes, what are you talking about? Like, I can't scream right now because everyone's sleeping, but he just erupted like a volcano, and it just exploded all hell. It was nuts.
Yeah, man. Tom Brady, man, he's just way too funny.
Dude, yeah. I've never been beaten 20-1 and like called Carl, I just outplayed you, and hung up. That was awesome.
Yeah, man, that interaction between you two, man, that should have been recorded and put on the, on front page on Test Your Mind, man. Everybody would have had a blast. I'm telling you, that was amazing.
Yeah, why was that not recorded? That was a jewel.
That was amazing, man. That was awesome.
But and then last night we were at an MK local at Battle and Brew. But speaking of the attendance, it was me, Glass Sword, and 3 10-year-olds in a bar.
Okay.
It was like 3 10-year-olds with their dad and like me and Glass Sword. So like, what's really funny is Glass Sword, although these kids are 10 and probably haven't played the game in like 2 years, Glass Sword was taking it very seriously and like bodied this kid really hard. Like no remorse, no regret. Like resets and everything. And when I played Glass Sword, he didn't realize because it was only 5 people that it was winners finals. And it's first to 3. So so he actually, all right, the first match, he hit 3 resets mid-screen in a row. And I'm just like, my mouth is open, like, what the fuck is happening? Like, Glass Sword is bodying me this first game. And then I beat him the second game. And then he does 3 more resets in a row in the third game and beats me 2-1. However, it's when I'm sitting there knowing it's a first to 3. After he beats me 2-1, he stands up in the bar and just starts screaming that I beat Pig of the Hut. Just pop.
That's awesome.
He was popping off, and all the Smash Brothers. There's a Smash Brothers and MK9 tournament, and all the Smash Brothers people are like, "What the fuck is he talking about?" I mean, it's just me, Glass, and three 10-year-olds who give a shit.
Right.
And there's a bunch of Meta Knight fans over there. And they're all like, whatever, Ice Climbers are broke. But so I just like, I get pissed, and I'm like, sit the fuck down. It's winners finals. I'm about to beat your ass. And, and again, there's like 3 10-year-olds and their father is like behind us during this whole thing, and I like wreck ass the next 2 games.
Right.
Like and the look. And I felt bad because the look on his face, he was just like, it's like, I thought I had beaten you, and then I pop off, and you come back and beat me. And then the funny thing is we play again in grand finals because, it's only 5 people, and it's just he and I. And I think I beat him in that too, and he was just, I don't know, I was still pissed, so I didn't have any, I really didn't have any remorse, and I was kind of laying into him a little bit about popping off on me early and stuff, and he was, and then I started feeling bad, but then I was like, I don't care, he popped off early. So it was funny, but we worked it out later. It was interesting.
Dude, that's awesome, man.
That's awesome.
I mean, I've met Glass Sword, but these stories you're telling me about sound awesome.
Yeah, Glass Sword is awesome.
Yeah, and let's be serious here. It might sound like we're blowing up Glass Sword. Man, we love that guy. Like,
yes.
Glass Sword being in the Mortal Kombat and Justice scene makes our scene that much more enjoyable and fun to travel.
Yeah, Blake's awesome too.
Blake's awesome. Glass
all
Sword
those weird Tom, all the characters are awesome.
And let me tell you something about Glass Sword. He will be 73 years old, and he still will be practicing smoke matchups. Like that's how dedicated he is to this game. Okay. Dude drives 2 hours twice a week just to play MK9 with Atlanta guys. So he deserves every prop in the world. And you know what? Part of me wanted him to beat me because he deserves it. Like, he just wants it so bad. And I hope he goes to the Fall Classic and bodies almost everybody there. Because I mean, I'll be his biggest fan.
I have another hotel storyline.
Okay,
go ahead.
This might be the funniest thing that's ever happened to me at a tournament. I don't know how it'll translate as a story, but to me, this is my new #1 moment. So, Dizzy and I get there on Thursday night, really late, and they tell us that our room is overbooked, and the room that we ordered we can't have. So they're gonna give us this suite because it's all they have available, and then the next night we'll switch. So we enter this suite, and it's amazing. It's like, I'm like, dude, this is so fucking esports. Like, look at this. It's like bigger than our apartment. We're going crazy. And he goes into the bathroom, and he's like, dude, come here. And I'm like, all right. And I go in there, and there's a bidet. And we're both like mesmerized by this. A bidet! The bidet! That's awesome. Right. I even made a tweet saying, dude, there's a bidet in here. #Hollywood. Have you guys ever used a bidet?
No.
Why don't you describe that to us?
Dave, aren't you European? Don't you guys have bidets?
That's racist.
Is that racist?
No, hell no, not racist. I don't, describe it. How did it look like?
It looked like a little sink, and you sit on it, and it has like a faucet.
No, we don't use that stuff.
So
I've
you know
never-
you're supposed to sit on it and you turn the faucet on and it shoots
No,
water.
I
Okay.
understand. No,
Okay.
we don't. This is only. I believe I could be wrong. Do not quote me. It's more like in the Muslim culture, and I'm not Muslim, so I don't know.
That's
Okay,
really
so-
racist.
That's racist, Dave.
That's potentially.
No, that's not racist. I'm
You
just
said
saying,
it with such disdain. I'm not Muslim. That's fucked up, man.
no, I'm just saying I don't know.
Look,
because I'm
dude,
not
we
Muslim.
have a team Mo, man.
What?
What if he's listening and he's offended? That's fucked up.
Yeah, what if
Well,
what if
I
you
will,
pissed
I will
off Winter Wars?
apologize. I will apologize. The only thing I'm saying, I think what I meant to say is I'm not Muslim, so I don't know that culture. But from what I understand, this is only that part of the culture, not part of my culture. That's all I'm
Well,
trying.
regardless, they have them in Vegas. So anyway, obviously we both regress into children, and we're like, bidet, turn it on, and like, he's like, all right, I'm gonna try it, and he's like looking, he's leaned over the sink thing, and his face, he's looking right down into the thing, right, and he barely turns the faucet on, and it absolutely explodes. It's a jet stream. It literally hit the ceiling, and it just absolutely like. The stream hits him right in the glasses, right in the face, and he's like, ah! And it's like spraying. It's literally hitting the ceiling. It's like a fire hose. And I'm like, ah! And he's like, ah! Like he's been blinded, like it was acid or something. Ah! Like he's been blinded and he won't be able to see, and it's spraying. And I'm like, turn it off. No! Like neither of us want to touch it. The whole time, it felt like it was an hour, but it was really like 30 seconds. This jet stream is just spraying, and it's literally splashing the ceiling. So I shut it off, and we're both like, what the fuck? We're laughing hysterically, but we're also like, what? Is that supposed to happen? If you sat on that, it would blow your intestines out of your mouth. Like, what the fuck? And he's like, I swear, I barely touched it. I barely touched it. And I'm like, all right, calm down, all right. And I kind of lean over so that I'm not facing it, and I'm like, I gently tap it, and again, it's a huge stream that hits the ceiling, and I turn it off. So what the fuck? Is that how they work?
I don't know. You're asking the. Oh, you're asking the wrong guy. I don't. Pig, do you know? Maybe I don't know.
Why would I know? Have you seen me? I'm obviously not Muslim or European.
Dude, wait, what's up with this European? Like I said, I don't want to.
Dude, it's called a bidet. How more European could you be?
Yeah.
But it's not. Why would I know? It's like Europeans. Like I don't know anything about it. And I was born in Europe. Come on, guys. I mean, damn.
Well, I'm sorry, I don't know the origins of a goddamn bidet.
Well, you must assume that it must be therefore be from Europe, right?
Yeah,
I'm researching
aren't
it.
they French or whatever?
No, man. I don't know where that. I've never seen one either. Honestly, I don't know.
Wait. Bidet is a French word for pony.
What?
That doesn't help.
It says okay, but it actually is. It is French. That's what I'm saying.
Okay. Okay. It's bidet.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
It's
wow.
French.
I didn't know that. Wow.
Just random. I'm gonna tell the story very quick. I was at a job training tonight for a new job for like a thing I do on the side, and I was being trained by this woman who doesn't look like a woman.
What?
And yeah, I'll make this real quick. It kind of bothered me because like this is hopefully I get this position of I'm not gonna name the place or whatever.
Wouldn't she know if she's listening? Wouldn't she know? Like, what other job interview would you be at?
That'd be really uncomfortable. Anyway, it's already uncomfortable. So it just seemed like, all right, when I was leaving, all right, she was helping me like the whole day and teaching me this and that, showing me how to do this, that when I go tomorrow and Sunday. And she's like, you'll do it by yourself. You'll do good. I'm like, okay, I'm really comfortable. So she was really awesome the whole day. Mind you, she honestly looks 99.9% like a man. And it didn't help me that at the end of the shift tonight, I was leaving, she's like, all right, thanks for coming. It's awesome work. I'll see you tomorrow. I was like, hey, man, thanks a lot. I really appreciate it, man. I didn't even think about what I was saying, but it came out so wrong, like the way I said it. Like, yeah, man, that was really awesome, man, or something like just. It really seemed like I was just trying to be a dick, but I don't know.
Honestly, it might not be that bad though. Like I thought maybe like maybe you called her like a he or something, and that like maybe should. But it's,
Or bro. If you would have
Can I
called
be,
him bro,
can I,
that'd
can I
be
be
bro.
serious?
yeah, oh bro. Oh yeah, oh bro.
Can I be
But
serious?
man,
All right, but hold on. Let's be serious. That would have never happened if it wasn't attractive. I mean, I probably wouldn't have said, "Yeah, man." I don't
What
know.
if she's listening?
I don't
What
know.
if you go there tomorrow and she's like, I'm a really big fan of Injustice Gods Among Us, and I was listening to this podcast. You're fired.
I didn't mean it like that at all. I didn't mean it like that at all. Like as soon as I said it, I was like, "Oh God, that sounded really bad." Like, I don't know. It just really bothered me on the whole way home.
Wait, Pig, if
No.
she played Injustice, like what character do you think she would play?
Doomsday.
no, but wait a second. You've never said man to a girl before, like just like to.
Maybe, but it just felt weird the way it came out. I don't know.
All right,
Like,
all right.
Maybe like at a like if I'm out to lunch with like 6 friends, I'm like get out of here, man, like something like that. But this came out different. It felt like as soon as I said it, like a hinge went to my butt, and I was like, oh God, like that hurt. Oh, why did I say that? Like I cringed. I was like, oh.
What?
And she could probably,
What the fuck did you just say?
when you like cringe, like you tighten up, like.
No.
All right, never mind. Move on.
All
Okay.
right, let's move on here. Okay.
Guys, real quick before you get too far.
Okay.
Can we talk about DJT versus Rattlehead?
What was the
Okay.
matchup? What was the matchup?
It was double baby.
A double baby in a mirror match to a blind guy who only goes by hearing, and that was so bad, man. I felt like terrible. Like I don't know. I felt really bad watching that. I mean, I know
Wait,
people have mixed.
that's the blind Cyrex player.
Yeah, that was bad.
Well, what happened?
He babied a blind man. He can't see, and he babied him.
Double baby.
Who did?
Denzel.
Wow. Oh my God.
Dude. So here's what makes it worse. The blind guy, he can, like, his name's OBS Rattlehead, right? Seems like coolest guy. Like when I haven't met him, but from what I've seen, like heard him on the show and stuff. So it's like he goes to this big tournament, and like OBS sponsored him, and so did like Combat Houston, I think, or whatever. So he finally goes, and it's like he gets in like winners finals of his pool. Okay, which is like. That's crazy,
Yeah, that is crazy.
That's insane, right? So like he's playing like godlike, but he can tell the difference between like when the characters make different sounds when they walk and jump and stuff, I guess, whatever. So, and the sound effects for each character, he knows that, right? So DJT mirrors him. So now he's already at a disadvantage because he can't tell what the hell's going on, right? And then on top of that, he double babies him, right? And on top of that, he starts command grabbing him like 3 or 4 times in a row, which is something I pointed out to Winter Wars when he fucking command grabbed the blind guy at that tournament in Ohio, right? Seasons Beans, I think it was. And I was like, dude, did you command grab the blind guy? And he's like, yeah. I'm like, you're a scumbag, man. It's like, he can't tech it. He can't see it. It doesn't make any noise, So like I tweeted like, oh, I bet you this blind guy gets command grabbed 3 or 4 times straight, and that exactly happened. I don't know, man. I was just like, the Desert Brothers are really cool, but I was like, what is this, man? Like, what's going on here? I don't know. I was a little bit like, I don't know. I felt bad, really bad for the guy when that happened.
Well, we have a blind player in our scene. His name is James, and I think you guys made it. And
that's what I'm
nobody
talking
ever,
yeah,
nobody ever, babied him. I just don't think that's right. But whatever.
double babies, man.
Ah, dude.
I mean, the only thing I'll say about it is I would have never done it. I don't agree with it. We were all upset at the lunch table when we saw it. We were watching on my phone on the stream, and we were like, oh, and we're like, wow, he's doing really well. And then we saw that, and we're like, left a bad taste in our mouth. It was. I think it was bad taste.
I'll play devil's advocate.
Yeah, but I think you're about to say what I asked DJT later about it. We were doing casuals. And he said OBS Rattlehead told him to go as hard as he could on him, and that's more respectful than treating him like a blind man with a disability. So it was almost like he treated him like, I mean, he would have babied me, he would have babied you if he could. Any one of us he would have babied if he could. Right. So it was almost like that.
Okay, no, I understand. It's just, I don't know, because you know Rio, right? Rio's like the king of babying people,
Yeah.
and I doubt Rio would have done that. So
No,
it's like,
I wouldn't have done it either. I couldn't
yeah,
have done that.
I'm like, I don't know, but I understand where DJT's coming from too. That if he was told that, then it is what it is, I guess. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I hope you guys don't mind, because we had a thread that Pig made about the community asking a bunch of questions.
Well, let's
And
do the Evo standouts first, then questions.
all right, that's good enough.
Go ahead and talk about Blind Man. You were going to talk about him.
Yeah, I just wanted to, we gave props to Nightmare, we gave props to My God, we gave props to Pia Barrock. I think Blyman, and you're the one who actually picked him, right? You're the one, and I think it's appropriate that you talk about it.
Yeah, can we be really serious about? All right, so officially the Kryptonite podcast council. This is where you come to find out news before it happens. I told every one of you listeners, first match, first round of the tournament, there would be a big upset with a Batman player. And guess what, guys? I was right. And I said, all you dumbass Raven players who never, and I go through those forums, and all of you are arguing with the Blind Man, you guys are arguing with the wrong guy. He's the only one. I played almost every one of you Raven players. You're all free, except Blind Man. Every one of you needs to be asking Blind Man how to play that character. I have played every Raven player. I've seen every Raven player. None of you are on his level. The only person near his level with Raven is Forever King. And I think the third best Raven is Big D. And if you're not one of those three, I'm sorry. I played you or seen you, and I'm not impressed. And you guys need to step up your game and start listening to Blind Man, because I'm going to start calling out individuals who don't agree with or listen to him or argue with him on the forums. But guess what? He was one match from winner's top 8 from beating KZ with Raven. Okay? So you heard it here first. I called Blind Man. I called Nightmare SF. There's a couple of other things I called. I just forgot about it. But I think Blind Man is, Blind Man beat Cowboy, who, Cowboy maybe could have beat KDZ. Who knows? Interestingly enough, Cowboy did get beat by Blind Man. However, they did casuals before top 8. And it was Wound Cowboy versus KDZ. He beat KDZ 3-2. We were doing first to 3 sets. He beat KDZ 3-2, but he won the first 2. So if that would have been an EVO match, the first 2 matches, he would have knocked KDZ to losers. Who knows what would have happened? However, KDZ, showing with the true competitor that he is, sat there, asked me some frame data questions, and then after one person lost to Cowboy, said, "I got $10. I want to money match you now, and I'm going to beat you." And he came back and beat Wound Cowboy 3-0. So again, props to KDZ again. But going back to my original point, Blind Man and Nightmare SF, Emperor Theo, and my boy, AK Harold, the #1 Flash player based on rankings and tournaments. Props to all 4 of those guys. They're all standouts of the EVO tournament to me.
Did AK Harold, did he beat Slips in the pool?
AK Harold beat Slips 2-1 with Flash, who, let's be serious, is a top 3 character, against normalized Deathstroke. But Deathstroke's still up.
1 second, hold that, Deathstroke community. I thought that matchup was in Deathstroke's favor.
Well,
those idiots.
Hold on.
Idiots.
Hold on.
I think it's 5-5 actually.
Hold on.
Go ahead.
Why are we basing matchup numbers on a 2 out of 3 set that was lost 2-1?
No, because every time I listen, take a look at MIT's matchup chart. He's his Deathstroke player before EVO. I was like, oh my god, maybe he's going to show me something. I'm going to be proven wrong. What do I see? He uses Black Adam against 16-bit. The only player, Deathstroke, who deserves some credit at this tournament, it was Ares, because he's the only one who pushed him to the top and made, I believe he placed 9th, but I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah, 13.
Everybody else who shut up say Deathstroke is overrated because nobody did anything with that character, aside from Slips at UFGT, who obviously had a very bad performance here. But I'm tired of her hearing how Deathstroke is this secret top tier character, and we just have to see and wait. No, we don't. This game is very simple to play, and I know how good Deathstroke is. And I don't want to be told how he wins these certain matchups when he doesn't.
I just want to give major props to AK Harold, who I'm guaranteeing right now at the Fall Classic, he's guaranteed top 8. I told you about Nightmare SF. I told you about Blind Man. I'm telling every one of you about AK Harold. He's making top 8, guaranteed. Mark the word now.
What do you think of the Deathstroke? What matches are you talking about?
I think Well, let me get into a question right now. Here, somebody asked me, um, do you honestly feel that zoning can be a viable strategy at the highest level? At the highest level post Evolution 2013 by Incognito. I think, well, I don't think there's a Freddy in this game. I'm pretty sure all of you would agree that there's no like Freddy and Kenshi. Would you guys agree with that?
Okay.
I agree. Yeah, I agree.
What about you? What about you guys? 16-bit and Claude.
Well, Claude just texted me. He said he'll be right back.
Okay. What about you, 16-bit? Do you think like there's a super dominant zoner in the game?
No, probably not.
Okay. Like I think, well, we can obviously talk about zoning together because all of us like the zone more or less. But I think, I mean, there's no Freddy or Kenshi in this game, and I think what NRS did, maybe they tried to do with the game, is they did not want that kind of gameplay in this game. That's the impression I get. But is zoning viable? Of course, it's viable. I mean, you got Superman, he zones well. Obviously, you got Killer Frost. Here's some solid zoning. Who else am I missing? Sinestro, even though he's probably not top 10.
He's a lot of work.
Yeah, I need a lot of work. I mean, they can zone, and Deathstroke. I will put the Deathstroke as well. But the irony is that when is Deathstroke at his best? When he can play his old game, where he can do low shots safely, blah blah blah, and make his opponent come close to you, and when you can do 50-50 mix up. That's when Deathstroke at his best. When you can play that game, Deathstroke probably wins the match. So I would say zoning is very viable, but don't like. There's like no Freddy or Kenshi character in this type of game. And would you guys want to comment on that or?
I think in this game right now, there's a top 5, top 6 that have one dominant string and one dominant special. And if you're not playing those, it's a hard road ahead of you. That's all I think.
Oh, and you're talking about the characters that you already mentioned, right?
Yeah, the 5
Like
or 6 that I
Batman,
mentioned.
whatever.
Yeah, there's really like 6 characters. I think the closest character in this game to being top yet fair would be Green Lantern.
All right, I can see that. I mean, what do you
To
think?
me, he feels balanced.
16, but you play that matchup a lot, right? Don't you?
What?
The Green Lantern match against Waffles. Do you play it a lot?
Yeah, we play a lot.
What do you think about that character?
I think if it wasn't for Superman and Black Adam, I think he'd definitely be probably a top 3 character. I think he's extremely good.
He is.
Extremely good.
That normal is pretty ridiculous, right?
Yeah, I think back one has got to be one of the top 5 normals in the game for sure.
I agree. I love playing that character. He's great.
His
I
reset
think-
is fucked up too.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got some nice stuff for sure.
Mhm.
Let me ask you this other question. This is by Crimson Shadow. If top players are losing at Injustice due to quote unquote scrubbiness, then why is it that players with top/championship level fundamentals from other games like Chris G and KDZ, who have also put a lot of time into Injustice, seem to be beating everybody?
Okay, I can answer
And
this question.
this is for Pig, I think. Yeah.
I can answer this question. Wonder Chef has now used Black Adam for 2 weeks, and he just beat Chris G's 3-month main Green Arrow.
He used Green Lantern to beat Chris G last night.
Oh, okay. His 1 month Green Lantern versus Chris G's Green Arrow. Okay, so do we think who do we think's a better overall fighting game player and better Injustice player? Do we think Wonder Chef or do we think Chris G?
Chris G.
Okay.
Obviously.
Okay, so I mean, I'm not trying to blow up Wonder Chef. Okay, if we devil's advocate, if we said who's better, Pig or Chris G, I'd say the better fundamentals are Chris G. Okay, so it goes back to my original point in this game. If you're playing the top 6 characters in this game versus Bane, Lobo, Destro, or any other characters that have to work really hard, they have to do setups, they have to do all this they have to think a lot. They have to think more than the other characters. They can just have one dominant special, one dominant string that it basically is equivalent of trying to charge your trade, do these setups, this and that, do an unsafe -9 strings in footsie range. I mean, basically, think about that. I mean, I've got all my current character right now, Sinestro. All of his strings are -9 or above in footsie range. I have to charge my trait. I have projectiles that are -24 and -43 on block. That full screen, you can dash a boulder twice and punish with Superman, and mid screen, you can dash a projectile and block and punish. Um, Interestingly enough, Sinestro's design is a zoner setup guy, yet he has a lot more recovery on his zoning than Superman does. Which goes to my point. If you're playing the top 5, top 6 characters in this game, and you're an outstanding player like a Chris G who uses Black Adam also, or KDZ who uses Superman, outstanding players with outstanding characters are probably going to have outstanding results, especially versus other top players like myself, who he's probably including, who honestly probably use a mid-tier character that has to think a lot and have unsafe footsie shit. I mean, I'm sorry. Whereas Superman can start a match out with dash 423 or 423, I have to start my match every single time versus that shit, either backdashing or blocking. That's how I have to start it out. I don't have balls big enough to just dash in with a -10 string and get punished for 50% and put into the corner to 70%. You know? So to answer your question, players, top players or players in general that are using low tier to mid tier characters versus outstanding players using outstanding characters with the dominant tools, it's probably why they're winning. But it's not the only reason why they're winning. They're still great players. If I had been using Black Adam for 3 or 4 months or Aquaman for 3 or 4 months, I would be thoroughly embarrassed if I couldn't get top 8 at 2 out of the 3 majors I've been to.
All right. That sounds like a very good answer. Let me, some people are also wondering, what is it about Sinestro that you like to make him your main character? This is by Wonder Nation.
I like his design. I like his setups with the trait. I like the idea of the trait. I like his corniness in a weird way. But my first reason, back when we were testing this game in February, Tom Brady was, Tom and I, we're great friends, but we also have a great competitive relationship as well. And he was all about Green Lantern. So the first character I saw on the character select screen was Sinestro, and I was like, "Who's that guy?" And they were like, "Oh, that's the bad guy from Green Lantern." I was like, "Done." I was like, I want to be the opposite of Tom, And the whole time, and that's another reason I looked at Lex Luthor, because at the time Tom was talking about main Superman, so that's why I played Lex as well early on. But then I found out that was an atrocious idea. But he's a zoner. He has, he has cool strings. He's just cool. I kind of like him. I just kind of dig his whole character design. I dig everything about him. But I'm the first one to tell you he has problems in this game with, 4 out of the top 6. The other ones, I actually think he's actually pretty good against Black Adam. I actually like that matchup versus Black Adam. But against some of the others in the top 6, top 7, it's tough. I mean, Aquaman's probably his toughest matchup. If you lose to me and you're an Aquaman, you should be embarrassed. You should go rehaul everything that you're doing, because that's easily his worst matchup. I'm letting the secret out of the bag. Beat me with Aquaman. If you can't beat me with Aquaman, you got problems. That's a atrocious matchup. If you watch me play Tom, if you watch me play Dizzy, if you watch me play any other Aquaman, you'll see, oh my God, this matchup is awful. Me and Cowboy are working left and right overtime. That's why Cowboy completely dropped the character and picked up Black Adam. He gets it. I get it too. I'm going the same route. I will use Sinestro still for some matchups, but I'm going to main a top 5, top 6 character unless something changes.
All right. And this conversation was started by Hector, and now the entire community wants to know, should 3 out of 5 be the tournament standard for Injustice? And everybody can comment. Let's start with Claude.
What was the question? I'm sorry, my wife walked in. So.
Oh, no problem. Should 3 out of 5 be the tournament standard for Injustice?
Yeah, I think it should be a tournament standard for Injustice and MK9.
Oh, wow. Pig?
I wish it was 3 out of 5, because from my experience with MLG with MK9, 3 out of 5 just felt better, and I think the better player wins 3 out of 5, and I think the better player will always win a 3 out of 5, because the better player will adjust.
Okay. 16-bit?
Yeah, originally I thought we'd need a few tournaments to see, And we've had those tournaments. You can see the game runs really fast. Someone timed, I think it was Jabali timed the times for the top eights, and Injustice was way behind. So I think if TOs can do it, if they think that they have the time to do it, I say go for it. But that is the key. If the TOs say they don't have the time for it, we have to respect that. Because I don't know about you guys, but I don't want to stand around all day. I don't want to be, and I don't want to have delay. I don't want to be told report at 4 o'clock and my pool starts at 7. But if the TOs are confident, go for it.
All right, and here we have another one by Steve Rod 92. Do you guys ever see low mid-tier characters such as Hawker, Lex Luthor, and Shazam ever making a top 8 or even winning a major tournament soon?
Absolutely not.
No.
Nobody thinks like. 60, you use Hawker. What do you think? Could she? I mean, I use her kind of too, but you probably. I mean, if you use her a lot lately, I don't know how much you've used her, but what do you think about? Does she have what it takes?
Yeah, I think so. You figure you got your pools matches. If you're a great Hawker role player, you should be able to get to winners finals of your pool, no matter what the matchup is.
Yeah, I can.
Then,
Yeah.
Let's say you get a Superman player. They don't know what the hell's going on. I mean, a Hawker will just beat KDZ. All right, so you just beat KDZ. Now you're in top 32. Only 2 more to go to get it in top 8. It's definitely possible. We saw it with Harley. I think we'll see it with Bane, Hawk Girl, those kind of characters. It's definitely doable. Hard as hell. But doable.
Well, top 8 maybe, but not win the tournament. Not
win the tournament, that'd be incredible. Yeah. Probably not, but I'd definitely root for the Hawk Girl player. She's awesome.
Name me the characters again.
No, he just gave a couple. He said Hawker, Lex Luthor, and Shazam. He just gave a couple examples.
Okay, definitely not Lex. Shazam, definitely not. I could see Hawkgirl out of those 3.
Yeah, I think she's. I mean, the other guys are low tier, but she's mid tier. I think maybe she can do something. I don't think she's good, but I think maybe she can do something. You know what I mean? I don't know. I agree with 16, but I think there's a slight chance that she can do something. All right, let's go into another one. Let's straight. Do you feel that the Mortal Kombat community is hurting because the game came from NRS and Mortal Kombat players automatically assume that they should have a firmer grip and understanding of the game than other players from different fighting games by X Wild X? So he's basically asking, like, do you think that we are, spoiled? Do we think we should have an advantage, like, because it's an NRS game?
Well, hold on a second. I mean, MK players are doing well at Injustice. DJT just got 2nd. MF Slayer just got, 3rd? Emperor Theo just got, 5th? Rio just got 7th? I could write that guy back and say, I'm sorry, sir, but we have more MK players in top 8, top 16, top 32 than Capcom players. The only Capcom players that were in top 8 were KZ, Chris G, and PR Balrog. And there were 5 MK NRS community members. Sure, he won the tournament, but DJT placed 2nd. And definitely not a 5-5 matchup. I'm sorry, Green Lantern and Superman is not a 5-5 matchup. But what do I know? He was probably, ahead in skill gap or whatever I read. So I don't agree with the sentiment. I know Jeremiah won a major. Chris G's won a lot of majors. But whenever you look at top 8s, the MK community is right there with them. We haven't, as far as who's won the most Injustice majors, yeah, Chris G, but we're right there. We're close behind. And guess what? It just got a lot harder for Chris G now that we showed, yo guys, he's kind of free to Green Lantern right now. So if Wonder Chef can be with Green Lantern, I could probably be with Green Lantern. There's a lot of Green Lanterns chomping at the bit to get at it. Hopefully Chris will fine-tune his Batman or Black Adam and adjust to the matchup, because I don't want Chris to be free of that matchup. I want it to stay competitive. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. This is kind of how MK9 started out. Justin Wong won PDP. Chris G was dominating CEO in 2011. Chris G got 3rd at 2011. MK9, he got second? He got 3rd. He got 3rd here in Justice. So it's kind of a history repeating itself. Now this is where the big boys come into play. Let's see what happens now.
All right, that's a good answer. And this one is for 16-bit. Why does Killer Frost get quote unquote nerfed, but Superman gets quote unquote normalized? Did this affect your tournament performance at Evolution 2013? By Spiteful Snake.
I could not say why one character was nerfed more than the other. Only Paulo knows. And no, it definitely didn't affect my performance. I feel both my losses were my fault, and I probably would have lost regardless. I don't think. Maybe MIT was a little bit closer, so maybe her increased damage would have helped. And maybe against Chef, I would have won game one and been a little bit more calm in game two. But for the most part, the problems I had with my Killer Frost in tournament had nothing to do with her damage. So I don't really think so. Not in that example. And I think she's still a very good character. I'm not emo about her because, you know, she's now low tier or whatever.
All right, you still have her in your top 10, right?
Yeah.
Okay. What about, also people wanted to know, and obviously since we don't have Dizzy on the show, what was up with him playing Injustice? In one of the matchups, he couldn't even do his trade from what I've seen. What was up with that? Do you remember what I believe you were commentating the match.
Yeah, I think he just wasn't playing well. I mean, he prefers MK. For the lead up to EVO, he was definitely more focused on MK than Injustice. He doesn't have a lot of passion for Injustice, and I guess in the heat of the moment, he just was playing off. I mean, it is what it is. He went on to he got some good wins after that. He ended up losing to Rico, and he got like 17th or whatever, so it's not like he was playing completely terrible. But yeah, I wondered that too. And I asked him about it, and he was just like, you know, I don't know. I wasn't feeling it or whatever. I don't think there's anything more to it than just bad play, unfortunately.
All right, let me have one more for you. Why does GGA, why do they dislike Injustice?
I think a lot of the guys just like MK. They absolutely love MK. You know, guys like Han and Dizzy, MK is their favorite game. I think Sunk doesn't like anything. Jeremiah he's just not having fun with any. Jeremiah's not having fun with any fighting games right now. He mainly plays PC games right now. Me, PPJ, Tommy, Slips, and some of the local guys like Newbie Sauce who come to the arcade a lot, we're still playing. We were just there last night playing. I know we're all going to meet up tomorrow and play. So it's not everybody, but the team we're definitely not as solidified in our love for this game. Like, we're not training as hard, and that's another reason why I don't really I'm not going to play online. I only want to play with the team. That's the most fun. And I'm not going to be I'm not going to be able to play every match. Like Catwoman, my matchups are going to be, I'm going to have to learn on the fly and in casuals at tournament, and that's going to be really hard, but that's okay. Overall, though, a lot of the guys just prefer MK, or they're taking a break from fighting games, period.
All right,
and Slips, yeah, he just doesn't like competing, period. Slips he may never enter another Injustice tournament again, but he hates tournaments. He doesn't really like the traveling. He doesn't like waiting around. He doesn't like 2 out of 3 sets. Slips likes breaking games down. That's what he's really good at. And so he'll help me break down Catwoman matchups. He'll help the team. That's really what he brings to the team, but I don't think he's interested in playing himself. I don't think he's interested in tournaments.
Okay, let me say that. Oh, real quick, 1 sec. I just want to add on to that. I can give this perspective of the Northeast scene here, and it's pretty much, from my perspective at least, it's pretty much exactly what you just described as your scene. Like, basically, the truth is, majority of the people don't really like the game that much, but they're pretty much playing because everyone's playing it and they want to be good at it. But the reality is, most of the people still prefer MK though. And for some reason, there's just not that much passion up here in the Northeast for Injustice. You have KDZ, but he's not part of our VSM scene, you know. So as far as the MK community up here, there really isn't much passion, you know, unfortunately, for the game here.
Okay, let me ask this question to somebody who was at Revolution and to Claude. What was the atmosphere like during the top 8? This is by Legion 47. Let's start with Pig.
I'm sorry, what was the question?
What was the atmosphere like during the top 8 for Injustice?
Oh, not good. It sucked. I mean, and let me be very clear here. I want this game to do well. I want to enjoy this game. I want this game to have an extremely long tournament life. I want to travel for this game. I don't want to see this game fail. So anything I say is not out of like, it's not out of anger or disappointment or anything. But I was really looking forward to seeing a high-pass 2008. I mean, 2008, high-pass top 8, 2013 Injustice, and I got front row, and right next to the speaker, right next to people were sitting, and all I saw was a bunch of 4-2-3, and I kind of knew there'd be some Superman. I was like, whatever, it'll be cool. It'll be fun to see Rio. It'll be fun to see DJT. And the best match of the day was probably DJT and Chris G. That was awesome.
Yeah, I thought that was awesome too.
I actually thought Theo and Rio was actually pretty fun. A lot of drop combos in that match, but still it was fun to watch Theo. I like Theo a lot. I really like Theo. He's a really down-to-earth, probably one of the nicest people I've ever met. I'm glad he's traveling now. He's probably one of my favorite people in the last year I've met. Just genuine. I'm sitting there popping off against Superman. We're playing casuals Thursday night, like angry at the character, and he's just like, "It's okay, man. Let me just tell you how to do this." He's just like so calm and cool. I love the guy. He's awesome. I mean, I've never heard of a game getting booed, and that just bothered me. That our game was getting booed by not just a couple of people, by like the FGC, and what they were booing was, laser, 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 423, 423. It was almost like they were booing because they're like, show us more. We want to see more. Why do we just keep seeing the same thing over and over? It just kind of left me a bad taste in my mouth, and I walked away from that room shaking my head, just thinking, I hope something changes. I hope some kind of variety is instilled into the game, or people level up to where we don't see that shit all the time, and it just may put a bad taste in my mouth.
And Claude, you want to comment? From what you've seen, maybe.
Well, I was at EVO last year, and like I said, I watched all this year. Last year at EVO, one of the things that was the most fun as far as being in the tournament part for me was sitting in a ballroom at the top 8 in Mortal Kombat and listening to the crowd's reaction to like what was going on in Mortal Kombat, because most of them don't play, right? So I was like entertained by it for the most part, and the crowd for the most part was pretty into it. Like if stuff was happening, they would clap, and like they would like if something would happen, let's say a fatality or something, they would just start like they were kind of into it. Basically, what I'm saying, So I assumed that since so many people play Injustice, that they would be into it again. So I'm watching it. I heard all the boos, and when they were booing, I was like, inside, I felt like them. I was like, this is boring. Like what we're watching is boring. Like, what I just saw on Friday was so amazing. The MK9 top 8. And watching this in contrast is just like, what the heck? And the problem is, before Top 8 Injustice, they had King of Fighters, right? I don't even play King of Fighters, and that top 8 was hype. I don't even know what's happening, but I was entertained by it. Okay, and basically, Injustice was boring, and that's a game I've played. And I just feel like I agree with you, Pig, that if the game doesn't evolve to become more than just 4-2-3 and Black Adam, I don't see how people are going to stick with it. I mean, I don't know what the answer is, but I agree with you on that aspect.
All right, this one is by MITDJT, and let's have this one for 16-bit. Why do so few use Wonder Woman?
That's an interesting question. I think, for one thing, I think she's a character that everybody knows, but very few people actually like. Like, she's iconic. We all know her. But who's, like, my favorite comic book character is Wonder Woman. She's tight. Like, no one, right?
Yeah.
She doesn't have a movie or a TV show or anything like that. I don't think, when the game first came out, people gravitate to the characters they like. And I think that's part of the reason Killer Frost went under the radar for a long time. Because who the fuck is, like, my favorite comic book character is obviously Dr. Louise Lincoln, Killer Frost. She's tight. Everybody's like Superman, Black, Batman. So I think she kind of went under the radar for a long time. And then later on, we'll get to the characters. People will start playing who they think is good. And since she's kind of complicated, she has two stances. Like, it's not overly obvious why she's good, other than back two. You don't have to be a brain surgeon to figure out that move is good. People will start to play her more now, I think. Like, MIT himself is picking her up, and he's like, whoa, look at her footsies. She's tight. I'm going to start playing her. So I think she'll become more popular as the game goes on. But at first, she just kind of went under the radar.
Yeah, and Foxy, I know, he did some great work with her. I mean, I think he kind of put the character on the map. Not necessarily like in tournaments, obviously, but just kind of just posting and telling this character is good, guys. She's very good, and I think that really helped out.
Can we talk about the notion that Foxy already and Justice thinks that they're farther ahead than us?
We heard that a year ago, and we heard how their Kung Laos are light years. We've already been through this, and I don't give a fuck. Show up or shut up.
Yeah, end of conversation. Okay.
Yeah.
Next.
No, I just want to say that I think maybe I want to be respectable to say that I think Foxy is a great player, but Ketchup and Mustard they're good players, but they're not great players. I just I can't they can say the same thing about me, and that's fine. But I'm saying just based on results and having seen him play. I mean, I saw Ketchup at a tournament. He was playing a Freddy player. Didn't know anything last year. Nothing. Tried to jump out of full screen spikes after blocking a glove. I mean, that's how bad it was. And you come to Evolution, and you don't even test a freaking. You don't even practice the matchup. You don't even know any. And then you have the audacity to say you're gonna make top 8. Like I just don't understand that.
And those Warner Brothers videos promoting Mortal Kombat for EVO. I never saw the part where Ketchup and Mustard were like, in 2 days about to get a wake-up call.
Yeah, exactly. What happens? If you're gonna say I'm gonna get top 8, yeah, you better know every damn matchup in the game. Well, don't even bother saying that. But
I just thought that was awesome.
Yeah,
that was cool.
Well, Pig, we got one here for you. How do you feel about the Sinestro versus the Flash match by Zyfox?
I think it's 6'4" Flash, and I think Flash is a top 3 character in the game. I think he is another character that's fucked up that NRS feels like they need to keep buffing and buffing and buffing just because 3 months into the game no one's using him correctly in tournament play. Like I said, AK Herald with Flash will make top 8 at the Fall Classic. Zyfox is talking a big game with Summer Jam in the Fall Classic. I think he's gunning for top 3, top 8. We'll see how that goes. I think the Flash is a very fucked up character in this game. Like I say, he's top 3. I think he can give Superman problems. I think that's probably 6'4" Flash. I think having a down 2 that's plus on block, that's 8 frames, that goes under 4-2-3, is a nice little tool that he can convert into a trait cancel into a combo. I think the Flash is a very, 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 very good character. I think there's very few matchups that character has to worry about. So, hell yeah, it's 6'4" over Sinestro. Basically, full screen, running man stance gets you out of the way of every projectile. His dumbass dash buff can dash shackles. It's like one of the only dashes that all the time can dash shackles. If I boulder, he can hear it, dash twice, or he can just dash once and do a back forward 2, meter burn to a combo trait. In the corner, he has the stupidest corner game probably in the game next to Superman. He has down 1-2, and down 1-2, if it hits, it grants you a free 50-50 combo. So you can do 4-2-1, which is overhead, and you can do 4-2-1 lightning kick, 25%, and you get a free 50-50 mix-up after that on hit. So you can just keep doing down 1-2, 4-2-1 lightning kick. What's up?
Why would you not just do the 50-50? I don't understand the point of down 1-2 mix-ups. If a down 1-2 hits, why are you not just doing a combo?
I agree. I don't agree with that either. But I'm just saying you can. But so I'm just saying it's an option. But but to go back to your point, if you do hit down 1-2, you can hit confirm into around a 55% combo that pushes you into the corner, which is again his deadliest attribute. He has down 1-2 Sonic Pound, which can act as a cross-up on the other side of you. It's also an O2G. His forward 3 can cross you up, and he can also do it to where it hits in front of you. His neutral jump 2 gets him out of almost every wake up in the game in the corner. Flash is really good. So for me to say 6'4" against Sinestro is being nice. Before all these buffs were happening, it was probably 6'4" Sinestro or 5'5", but it is unquestionably in Flash's favor now. If you're 3/4 screen in, no fireball will hit you on crouch. It's impossible to zone this character. So
Yeah,
so what do you do? I gotta play footsies with you. Kind of hard to play footsies when all your strings are negative. So every time I try to start a commits offense, okay, jump at him with axe. Oh, I'm sorry, down 2 into trait combo. If I do any kind of rush down with him, if I do any trying to rush down with Sinestro, okay, if he blocks it correctly, I get full 55% combos. I will not use Sinestro against Flash. I will beat very mediocre Flashes with Sinestro, but I have characters for Flash.
all right.
I want to be clear about something. That little blow up I just did, I'm genuinely asking if there's some reason to do that. If there's some reason that makes sense, I'd like to see the reply. I actually don't know, but I see some of that stuff, and it's like, if you think there's a chance it's gonna hit, why would you not just go for the damage? Like the killer, I think that I'm asking because the Killer Frost community early on was really obsessed with pressure, maintaining pressure. When it's like, you guys could just be doing 40%.
You know what I think it is? I think down 1-2 is hard to hit confirm, whereas down 1, like 4-2-1 is easy to hit confirm. So I think sometimes you see a lot of down 1-2 lightning kicks that they won't hit confirm, but they'll.
Well, I mean, on block it's only like -4. Like is down 1. Yeah, regardless, like it ends your pressure, but if you're right, you're getting a combo, and you don't even use the bar unless it hits. Like, is there some reason down 1-2 on block is more preferable than down 1-2 sonic kick? I don't know.
I don't know. That's a good question.
Yeah, we'll have to ask.
Say.
Yeah, maybe
Zyfox will say something.
Exactly. Yeah, maybe maybe we can have him on the show. Next time or the time after that. But let me ask you, 16-bit. How do you guys feel about some Injustice Pools matches being played without the latest patch? This is by 4x4.
I thought that was a huge blow up. EVO normally is very, very good, very professional. That was a giant blow up. I don't know what else to say other than that's embarrassing.
And they used the patch where obviously just the latest patch, right? Not anything prior to that, right?
There is some kind of issue, I'm not sure exactly how it works, where you can have the Zod patch and those balance patches, but you cannot have a hotfix. So from what I understand, Zod patch was in, like he wasn't legal, but the patch was in. It had those fixes, but Scorpion hotfix wasn't in. So the teleport was high, and the flip kick was safe, I think. Okay. I know Dizzy's the one that discovered it and was like looking into it, and he was like, "What the hell's going on?"
Yeah, I also have a problem with no headphone amps this year at EVO. This was the first year EVO didn't have headphone amps, and I don't know, that really affects me. I know Runway Mafia during our match was getting upset at Cowboy, not really coaching, but kind of cheering me. And to Runway's defense, that really bothers me too. I hate when all I can hear is, I can't hear any game volume. There's actually, there's no volume to this game whatsoever. It's one of the quietest fighter games I've ever played in my life. Like, put this game in and put Street Fighter in and tell me the volume difference. It's uncomparable. Runway had a valid argument, because I would bitch about it too, because I am now, that I couldn't hear. I couldn't hear anything. How the hell are you going to hear boulders? Like if I'm playing against Sinestro Mirrors or against Sinestro as a whole, when I hear boulder, I wait a second, and then dash. And then I'm in. I get a free full combo. He couldn't do that against me. So, to all fairness to him, I think that was a huge detriment to our matches.
Okay. Claude, you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Do you believe that the solution to character imbalance is to buff low-tier characters or to normalize top-tier characters? Explain your answer. By John Berg.
Okay, if we're not going with Pig's suggestion, which I actually think is a pretty good suggestion, if we're just going by buffing and nerfing, I am a proponent of normalizing the few top characters, because for me, the game, one of the things that makes the game not fun for me personally is that for the most part, hardly anything is punishable in this game. Like, everything's really safe. I mean, Sinestro has negative strings, but most characters, they can just throw strings out, throw specials out. They don't have to worry about anything. Say 50-50s, blah, blah, blah. If you start buffing the low tier characters to make them... Like, every character in this game has things that are messed up about them. Like, they have cheap shit, right? Even the low tier characters. It's not really that way in MK9 in comparison. But the problem is, if you make those the cheap characters, like, to me, there's a fine line between a little bit broken and super broken in this game, and you could easily turn what is a low tier character that already has cheap shit into like a broken character, So to me, if you just normalized a little bit like Superman, maybe I don't know what you could do. Maybe change like the chip damage on the zoning could be one thing, right? Or somehow was nerfed his main string a little bit, and then Black Adam maybe give him one little nerf. Then the other characters would be able to compete a little better. So then you wouldn't need to give the low tier characters more broken shit. That's just my opinion.
Do you Pig and 16? Do you guys have any philosophy on this issue?
Can you repeat the question? I was away for a minute.
Okay, no problem. He just the question is, do you believe the solution to character imbalance is to buff low tier characters or to normalize or to nerf top tier characters?
For the most part, I would be in favor of nerfing the top tier characters. Usually when a character's too good, it usually means they're not fun to fight because they have dominating tools. And I think that are probably too easy to use for the most part. Or they have everything. Or that they have one move that covers a bunch of bases, or they simply have too many moves and it's overwhelming. And that's usually not fun. And I think, like Kenshi's a good example of that. Kenshi's not fun to fight. So making everybody like Kenshi just makes every match not fun to fight. I think it's better to have characters that have weaknesses, that have problems, that are good at this but bad at this. I think that makes a more balanced and, more importantly, more fun game to play. So, let's take the old Killer Frost. The slide is a really broken move. And then when it hits, she got hella damage into a huge reset. So now it's a little bit more manageable because you're not dead when a slide hits you. If you had buffed everyone to be at Killer Frost's level, would you have just made... let's say... I'm trying to think of an example. Let's say Hawkgirl she's alright. She's kind of mid-tier. Let's buff her to that level. Let's make it so that Mace Charge does 40% on hit. Alright, Hawkgirl would be at that level, but she'd be broke. Like, it's not like she'd be more fun to play. Hawkgirl's already fun to play. She's already a really cool design. She can fly. How tight is that? She can fly. That's awesome. No one else can do that. That makes her cool. To make her better, maybe give her more tools using flight or whatever. Don't just make her broke. Like, ideally, everyone should have the design philosophy they have and be well balanced, not have character. I don't want everyone to be at old Killer Frost level or Black Adam's level. I'd rather have everyone be more balanced out. That's usually how I would look at it. I don't think there's anything wrong with nerfs. Like, I think people, even you, Dave, freak out about the idea that, like, it's not a big deal. If someone has a tool it's a little bit too good, just make it not quite as good.
No, what I mind is, I don't mind, like, to me, NRS did a good job with Killer Frost, in my opinion. They nerfed that character in a way that she can still play her game. They changed the damage, yeah, they definitely did. And they changed her mix-ups, like some on block, but she can still slide safely on block and do the 50-50 mix-up. Can Deathstroke zone the Flash? Can he zone Raven? Can he zone Killer Frost? He can't anymore.
No. He can definitely zone Killer Frost.
I play Master D. He punished Losa with the thing every time.
Then do meter burn gunshots. All of a sudden,
how am I supposed to build meter?
Well,
you don't have meter in Injustice.
Hey,
well, I only have so much.
Well, I would say that with normalized Frost, Slips and I have played that match a lot, and he doesn't just beat me with zoning, but he definitely gets his zoning in, and he definitely does fine.
What do you think of that matchup?
I think that match could easily be 5-5.
5-5. I kind of agree. I'm sorry, Dave.
Yeah.
I agree 5-5.
All right, let me.
Jump 3, you couldn't really ask for a better jump attack.
No, I agree. Let me ask you about this. You keep talking about Kenshi, you know, how he's not fun to play. Where would you rank Freddy? Do you think he's
Freddy?
more? Yeah. Is he also, like, in your opinion, not fun to play, or is he a little bit? You know, is there some leniency with him?
Well, I would say Freddy, to me, through the eyes of the princess, fucking sucks, and you can die in a fire. But overall, you know, he's not exactly Kenshi. He probably doesn't like 9. Like Pig will talk about like Kenshi versus the fish, and the argument is whether it's 9-1, 2-8, or like 10-0.
10-0.
Freddy's not that bad.
All right, yeah, that's
I legitimately think Kenshi has 2 to 3 10-0 matchups.
I can. Well, that's true, but honestly, we keep talking about Superman. You're still the only one who can probably play him at such a level.
Yeah, can we be honest about that real quick? It took 2 years for another Kenshi to make top 8. Go ahead and start counting the top 8 Supermans. I'm so fucking sick of these idiotic, ignorant morons comparing my Kenshi to Superman. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. However, I mean, I agree. He's a top 1, top 2 player. Kenshi is. However, it took 2 years. For Superman, it took 2 months to get about 4 or 5 of them in top 8s and winning tournaments. So, suck my nuts.
Well, I would say that by the time Kenshi came out, a lot of people that would be really good with Kenshi weren't playing the game. I think if you gave PR Balrog Kenshi, we would have seen how fucked up Kenshi was. And I also think that means the MK community is on blast. I don't think that says anything about Kenshi. That says something about the MK community.
There's video footage. There's video footage.
Go ahead.
There's video footage of Tom and CD and all these other Katanas and Sub-Zeros and Barakas beating Kenshis until I put on the blindfold. So the community can hold that.
Well, 60 to be fair though, Michelangelo tried to use him, nothing. Christie tried to use him, nothing. Honestly, for what it's worth, even I tried to use him, nothing. I think that character, as good as he is, and we all know he's good, is not, you know, I understand that, you know, he costs you a lot of tournaments, and I've always told you, 60, please pick a different character. You could be winning tournaments right now. But if you look at overall, he's a character that I would say actually requires a good amount of knowledge and spacing.
You're telling this to the wrong person.
No, I mean, do you disagree?
No, I don't. I definitely think that I would say if I'm Katana and I'm fighting a random Kenshi, I would fear them significantly less than if I'm Catwoman fighting a random Aquaman.
Okay, I can see where you're coming from. I can definitely see.
I agree though about Pig because I mean, you know, I play Cage and I absolutely hate playing against Kenshi, of course. But you know, I also play Kenshi just for fun, and for once in a while I'll pull him out in a tournament for a bad matchup, let's say. And I feel like when you're full screen in your Kenshi, it's like you're godlike, right? But then, like when you're half screen, you're still godlike. But when someone gets close to you, it's like, or someone gets within jump distance, it's like a whole mix-up game where if you guess wrong once, you're gonna get blown up. You know, so that character, while his tools are really easy to use at the highest level, I actually think it's a fairly difficult character to use at the highest level. Like as far as your spacing and your reads and stuff. You know, that's just my opinion.
All right, enough props. Let's get Carl on here. I don't need props. Carl really wants to come on here and discuss some hot topics real quick. He's not going to be long because he's hungry. And Carl's hungry. He's never long.
Like, wait, physically hungry or hungry for, like, a tournament?
Probably both, but Carl wants some noodles. He's hungry.
All right.
All right, I'm going to call him on. He'll join the call randomly, and a random Carl will appear. So I'm just throwing it out there. Oh my God! Look at his look at his Skype avatar.
Yeah, I've seen that.
That's too good.
That took long enough.
Sorry.
Sorry, Hollywood.
Why is your avatar? Why is your avatar so Hollywood?
What is it? I forgot. I don't even know what it is.
It's you dressed in '80s gear.
Oh no, that's my face photoshopped on a picture of LL Cool J.
Exactly, '80s gear. All right, Carl. I want you to talk. You're echoing, by the way.
Oh, I am. Damn.
Well, when I talk, I hear myself back. We got to fix this quick. So we got to move.
Dude, no, hold on. Don't call me hella late and then tell me to hurry up with something.
Okay, listen. I need you to talk about your topic. I want you to share your thoughts on Evo, your problem with TOs today, and the whole Nightmare SF situation.
All right. First, I'm gonna start with the Nightmare SF situation. Also, I don't have a problem with TOs today. I have a problem with TOs all the time. It's not. It's not. It's not a new thing. Um, but I don't have a problem with TOs. I have a problem with the way they run things. But as far as the Nightmare SF situation, people are talking about. Obviously, he beat me and put me in losers and stuff. But it's the way it happened. Um, the first match, our preset didn't save because on PS3 the game bugs out and won't save your preset. I mean, it's pretty dumb how you save your preset in the game, go out of the game, pick your characters, and go into the game, and the preset is different. Like for whatever reason, it had alternate controls on. It had on release check, and my interactable and throw buttons were swapped. So that was pretty ridiculous because I would knock him down with Black Adam and then jump and do like try to throw a starship and it wouldn't even happen. I'm just like, okay, am I stupid? Can I not press the interactable button? But then I went and looked and saw that the thing was wrong. I was like, oh, okay. And he was like, well, I want to take the match. I'm like, oh, all right, you want to take the match? Cool. So the next match, I changed my buttons, fixed them, bodied him, and then right after that, the match after that, he won on like it was close, I guess. And then he was like, all right, I'm good. I'm like, okay, you're good. Okay, I hear you. I was pretty upset because I'm just like, damn, you beat me one time. Now I'm in losers. I came all the way to Evo to lose once and go into losers bracket. That's how I felt. That's why I was so like upset about that. And then he was like, well, I don't complain, bro. I'm like, oh, you don't complain? Then Karma hit him twice. So his chance to get in the top 8 was,
I was there. He
Yeah.
said, I don't. He said, I knew the buttons were messed up, and you said, why didn't you say anything? And then he looked you in the face and said, kind of mean. He said, I don't lose with excuses. Okay, now, hold on. I'm saying this for a reason.
Scumbag.
Hold on. Fast forward, 7 hours later. What did he do, Carl?
He complained because he paused the button on both of his matches in the top 8. Well, tough luck, bro. You don't complain, right?
It's interesting. It's actually interesting how that
he
worked
wanted
out.
to be more pleasant and more of a nice guy after that. I was like, oh, now you want to be a nice guy after you eat your words? Because I'll tell you right now, like, I don't care what anyone says, he's not a better Batman than me or Rio.
He's not better than Rio. I think Rio is the best Batman, and I think
King is the best Batman.
Oh, that's true. I haven't played King in a while. It could be, yeah.
Well, Perfect Legend, where do you rank among the best Batmans out there, in your opinion?
Honestly, I don't really care. I just feel like I can do things other Batman players can't, like beat Superman consistently. So,
I like that.
Yeah,
you're good with me if you can beat Superman.
But just real quick, do you support Injustice to be 3 out of 5 in major?
Yeah, I support every game to be 3 out of 5 at major tournaments. I think this 2 out of 3 nonsense is stupid. Why are we paying like $500 to show up to a tournament and play a 2 out of 3 match set? Honestly, it should be even longer than that. But whatever. We should be playing 3 out of 5. And when I played in World Cyber Games for DOA, we played 3 out of 5. And then the community adopted that format instead of complaining about it. Because 3 out of 5 is more consistent. You have more games. You have more room to breathe. That makes a world's difference. Like, we were doing 3 out of 5 at MOG. I don't know why we didn't do 3 out of 5. We did 3 out of 5 at Seasons Beatings, too. I don't know why we haven't did 3 out of 5 anymore since then. Even at
that's true.
I feel like we should do 3 out of 5 all the time.
What you play Nightmare SF, say 3 months from now at a major. Give me the score.
Might be 3-0.
3-0. I like that. Is it close? Is it close at all at any point?
I don't know. The Batman mirror match is kind of dumb.
Okay.
Like to where it's kind of ridiculous. But when I play like Batman's Now in it, I actually win it a lot because I've been forcing myself to just get really lame in that match because Batman has to be lame. He can't rush himself down unless, of course, he already has bats on the screen.
Mm-hmm.
But like I'll probably just pick Black Adam and body him because that was my plan from the get go, and that is what was happening. Except for when I jumped into interactable, it didn't come out, so he didn't really outplay me. It was more so my buttons were wrong, and then I switched to Batman after that. But I should just stay Black Adam, but whatever.
Nice.
Yeah, I am salty about it because I felt like I mean I have no problem like taking a loss and saying I lost. You're the better player.
No,
You know?
what? Carl, name 3 times you've ever said that ever.
Okay, well, all right. Let's see. When I lost to Rico, I was like, well, he made the better read and he won.
That's
I don't
big.
feel like I don't feel like I got scumbag. After I played Denzel, I was like, of course, Cyrix is bullshit, but he played it really good. He was really patient. He punished any like nomad dash cancel attempt. It's just the fact that it came down to his character does more damage than mine.
Dude,
So whenever he got a read, I died.
Who is this guy?
Carl.
Who is this guy?
Carl,
Carl, let me.
Carl,
What?
have I ever outplayed you?
No.
Okay.
No, seriously, Carl, listen up. I want to know about your match against Rio and MK. What happened there?
Honestly, I was
Go
so upset and angry after playing Denzel. I couldn't regroup myself like mentally. So when I played him, I was just like, I guess whatever. And then when he won, I was like, "Are you happy?" He was like, "Yeah." I was like, "Well, it took you 3 years."
But you're saying it has nothing to do with the fact that he punished your teleports. Nothing to do with that he
Well,
won.
obviously, I mean, what am I supposed to do in that matchup now? Because now that people are just all right, if you do the cat or curveball tactic where you just down 3 all day, Kung Lao can't really open you. What I'm supposed to do? Like do down, block your down 3 and down 3 you, and then do 2-1. You can still beat my 2-1, regardless. I've demonstrated that I don't know how many times. And then of course the Kung Lao jump in teleport thing is a gimmick unless he's right next to you. If it's full screen, it's not going to hit you. You can dash away every time or EX teleport. I mean EX dash. So it's really, I mean, it's nothing he can do in that matchup. Like it's funny because people can say whatever they want, but I can play Cabal versus Kung Lao and beat Kung Lao the same way. Like anybody can play Cabal versus Kung Lao. Any player is a top player. Dab, Scarlet. Well, I mean Scar. I don't mean to call him Scarlet, but Scar, Rio, Detroit. Anybody that's a Cabal player or a top player and knows how to use Cabal, they'll punish Kung Lao the same way. Kerbalicious too. It's the same thing. Like it's to the point where the game is because I used to, of course, be an advocate that Kung Lao beats Cabal, right?
Yes.
But up until like a month ago, I was like, I think this match is bad because I was playing King a lot, and I'm just like, dude, there's nothing he can do. Like if you throw a hat, I can just EX dash you on reaction, and then I get a full combo into pressure, and then it's the pressure is in my favor. My down 3 is going to beat your spin, and then I can bait the spin out and punish you and just put you in a block string that ends. I mean, like freaking, I watch McFly versus Doctor Dark, and it's the same thing. The match looks exactly the same. There's nothing changed in the match. Like, I'd rather do the Cabal mirror than play Kung Lao versus Cabal, and it's so much easier. And then when I play the Cabal mirror, it comes down to who's the better player, and it's dumb because I don't want the game to look like Cabal versus Cabal. And no, it's not all. We're just gonna sit across the screen and zone each other. No, we're gonna. First off, you can't zone Cabal with Cabal. If he has EX dash, he can just EX dash you on reaction, and then now you have to deal with his pressure. And Cabal doesn't want to be blocking versus Cabal and pressure because he always has the frame advantage. So he's able to just keep doing it. He has to mess up or just gets right. And it's not like where Cyrix, you have that damage or whatever. Like you have to be playing super patient and make sure you pick the right stage so Cabal can't run forever. Because honestly, the only time Rio actually beat DJT was because the stage. Because he can run away the entire time.
But you said that Cabal is not the best character in the game, right? Isn't that what you said recently? You caused some controversy. Or you think so? Cyrix as the throne Cabal, in your opinion?
Cyrix has too many ways to. I mean, come on, dude. He hits you once, he does 80%.
No, I agree, but I don't know whether he's better overall than Cabal.
It doesn't really matter.
Losing matchups.
Does it really matter if he's better overall? It's like, all right, Superman, right? A character that can beat Superman is maybe Hawkgirl. The only reason that it's 5-5 is because of Superman's damage. Cyrix can't lose a matchup because he has damage.
No, that's a good point. I'm just saying. I don't think you can say that he's better than Cabal, though. I mean,
Does it
that
matter? Why can't we just say they're tied for number one?
because nobody's gonna picking up Cyrex and beating up high-level Cabal players anytime soon. DJ
Well, those
DJT.
Cyrix players are just not good then. DJT is a good player. He picked Cyrix. That's why he's able to do it. Every other Cyrix player is a fraud. Well, except for
What about-
Han. Han just drops stuff in tournament, but I don't
about-
see.
What about
What?
Maxter?
Well, I mean, I have nothing against Maxter, but like, I mean,
Max is
Cyrix kind of helps him too at the same time. Cyrix is good. I mean, he's good, but like, Cyrix helps him in those matchups to where like, you know, where you can get outplayed. Cyrix still keeps you in the game.
All right. Well, let me ask you this question, because we. Who do you think only wins because he's a fraud and the character helps him? For example, would you say Pig because he uses Kenshi?
Well, Pig also has Melina,
True.
so I've seen him do well with Melina and stuff. Kenshi does help, obviously. I mean, freaking is wrong to say the character doesn't help somebody.
And
I mean, like
Sonya.
no one's going to tell us to pick Kano and be like, all right, bro, prove who's better.
What about for example, My God?
No, my guy is good. My guy's legit.
So he's not a low hitbox abuser.
No, dude, he is a really good lieutenant. My guy
No,
has.
man, I'm just playing with you.
Dave, keep asking questions. You'll get them.
Look, I played my guy, and not a long set, but in casuals and tournament when I went to Absolute Battle, and he's really good. And people, when I won that tournament, people were like, "Oh, you did nobody was there." My guy is really good. Obviously, he proved that by getting third. You know what's funny? How the tournament is basically a tier list. Number one is Cyrex, number two is Cabal, number three Sonya, then I guess King, Kung Lao, Kenshi, and then after that there's me using Cabal and Kung Lao, and then after that I forgot who gets. Oh yeah, 16-bit Katana. I don't know.
What?
Actually,
She's not. Get the fuck out of here.
actually from first to fourth is accurate. First to fourth place is accurate.
Do you
What
think
about Freddy?
you think Kenshi's fourth?
I think Cyrex probably beats him. Cabal beats Kenshi, and I think Sonya does more damage than Kenshi does. And there's like Sonya Kenshi's 5-5. I don't give a crap
Thank
what he
you,
says.
God, thank you.
Okay, tell me this, Carl. Where do you rank Freddy? Obviously, when the zoning master is not present, nobody wins. But when the zoning master is present, where do you rank Freddy in the tier list?
Honestly, it's hard to really say where Freddy is because he doesn't really have quick normals. I mean, he has good zoning, but up close, what are you going to do besides Nightmare Stance?
Yes.
And back 2-4 is really good because it pushes away into safe and stuff. But I mean, like his anti-air, in my opinion, sucks.
Oh no, I think it's good.
Good.
I honestly think it's really good.
All right, versus Kung Lao, I think his anti-air sucks.
Well,
No,
no,
well-
wow, that's bad.
If
I
you,
mean-
you can't anti-air Kung Lao, your anti-air sucks. That's how I feel.
All right, next topic.
Wait. Are we going to ignore the fact that Dave just referred to himself in the third person?
Right, he said.
Are we
zoning
just
master.
yeah? If the zoning master's not here,
Yeah, I'm
Freddy's
gonna
not
ignore
there.
it because
Are we just
I think
ignoring that?
Yeah, I'm ignoring it.
Okay.
That's why I
Dude,
didn't.
come
I
on.
ignored it.
Every time you have to listen, Carl always talks about the two-time Evo champ is here. Come on, man. I get to
I
do
don't
at
ever
least
that. I
one.
don't ever do. Somebody else does that. I
Carl,
don't
when
announce
you
myself. People
Carl,
announce
when you
me.
did it, Carl, when you did the Scorpion video, you did it, man. Right? Didn't you do it on the Scorpion video?
Yeah, because it's my video. I don't do it on someone else's podcast.
I will say, it has now been 2 years, and there has been no other Freddy. We heard a lot about other players said that Dave was a fraud, and
Talking about Scar, why don't you just mention him?
all right, where's the Freddy? And
Yeah,
where
you know
was
Scar almost
Where
beat
was
Rio.
Scarlet in the top 8?
Yeah, Rio almost lost to Scar.
Well,
Scar-
Carl, I've never been to a tournament where you can say, "Excuse me, referee, I almost
No,
beat."
no, I said with Scarlet. I didn't say with Freddy.
No.
How many times have we heard with Scarlet the almost word?
Yeah.
Well, that's true for Combat Houston. They almost.
Dang.
Their
Yeah.
most successful player this tournament can't see.
Hey, he's good though.
Oh my God. Oh
Oh my
my
God.
God.
Wait, what? Their highest, what? Their
Yeah,
highest placing player is
Yeah,
blind.
Rattlesnake got placed higher than they did.
No. Scar actually did good. He got 13.
Oh,
he
okay.
played.
Oh, that was almost going to be really
And Scar, to be fair, Scar only lost to the guys that got first and second. I don't know why I'm defending him. Fuck Scarlet. Katana's a family ninja. 2 Evo medals. Scarlet has none. Hold that.
Hey, Carl, let me ask you this question. We had a thread about the questions,
Yeah.
and Rampage254 wants to know, meter burn back 3 on reaction. What are your thoughts about it? Do you think you can do it like as Zoidberg said? You can do it on, for example, against Scorpion's teleport against.
No.
I don't like.
No. No.
No, just give me your thoughts on.
Wait. Did the blind guy place higher than Royale, Cat, and Showtime?
He tied
All right,
with
first
Showtime.
off, can we not
and,
call? He has a name. Can we stop calling him the blind guy? His name is Carlos, and also he goes by Rattlesnake.
Rattlehead.
Rattlehead.
Oh,
Carl
Rattlehead.
gets his
All right.
name wrong. Carl's like, guys,
I
be
thought it was
respectful. Be
Rattlesnake.
respectful. His name's
Yo.
Rattlesnake. No, it's Rattlehead, idiot.
When I read Rattle, I immediately see Snake. So
Are you scared of snakes, Carl?
no, I actually used to study snakes when I was younger.
Weird.
That is weird.
No, seriously, I actually like snakes. I really do. I have snake books in my house. If you ever come over here, I'll show you them.
All right. I'm gonna.
But I'll never own a snake. Fuck that. But I'll fucking
That's so
check
funny.
them out and shit, dude. Like
All
snakes
right.
are cool as hell. I used to love Anaconda, the movie.
Oh, that movie's bad.
Dude, that movie's awesome. It's Jennifer Lopez in it. Ice Cube.
But it's the only movie where Jennifer Lopez looked ugly.
So she looks natural, man.
Ew.
I like the natural.
All right,
Anyway.
keep going.
What else? Oh, yeah, Meter Burn Back 3. I mean, if I see Black Adam jump in the air, I'm going to sometimes do Meter Burn Back 3. But at the same time, he could jump in the air and do like, all right, close dive kick, bro. Psych.
Yeah,
Wait
yeah.
the meter.
That's
So,
true.
no. I mean, like, it depends on, like, say you're fighting Superman. Like, okay, if we were like, honestly, I feel like Injustice should get this in the next patch. You know how Mortal Kombat starts you off with a bar of meter? I think Injustice should start you off with a bar of meter. So then characters like Superman who want to be like, all right, bro, I'm just going to 4-2-3 you in the face. You can do meter burn back 3 him in the face. So you create a better mind game. So, you know, whoever gets that first hit. And then you have, like, every character has, you know, a generic armor attack. I think that's awesome. And I feel like we should start off with a bar of meter.
I agree. I agree with that.
But then again, people are going to play like, man, Scorpion has to start off with a bar of meter. Do this unsafe teleport attack. Man.
Let me ask you this question. C. Jr. on Twitter recently talked about people who did not deserve to make top 8 in Injustice because of fraud Superman. Who do you think did not deserve to make top 8, if anybody?
The people that didn't make top 8?
No, who do you think who made top 8 that did not deserve it?
Let's see.
I asked him about names, and he says like, "No, Dave, I'm not mentioning anybody." Are you gonna put somebody on blast?
No, I'm just gonna say people had brackets where they had to fight nobody. That's why they're in top 8.
Yeah, on my side, I had me, Nightmare SF, PL, Rio, CD Junior, Dizzy. That was my bracket to top 8. Did you just hear? Oh, and MF Slayer. All right, again, all those guys were in my path to top 8. We all had to fight each other at one point.
No, I heard a lot about how MF Slayer is not good and blah blah blah, and how he had the game only for a week. First off, I think that's nonsense that he only had the game for a week. He played it with somebody. All right. Then he beat Rio, but honestly, I saw Rio playing the match wrong. I don't really understand. Like, he played it right versus CD Junior as ECT. I guess he's just rusty with Batman. I don't understand. Because when I played Tyrant, I played that match to perfection, obviously, because of my name. But, you know, like, that's a match that I think is really good for Batman. I mean, it's not, like, free, but I feel like it's good. Like, I haven't lost a Superman tournament. Like, I beat KZ Superman. I beat Tyrant Superman. I mean, I don't know. I just think it's a good match for Batman only because of bats. Like, obviously, you have to stay in range. You can't let Superman get full screen. They can, like, be really annoying and build meter with, you know, lasers. And then up close, you got to make sure you have bats so he can't 4-2-3 your face off.
Yeah.
But I feel like he played that match wrong. Maybe it's tournament nerves or just rust. I don't know. I feel like Rio should have went with Scorpion. I feel like I should have went with Scorpion too, just because of familiarity at this point. But
Slayer reminds me of a young you.
Well,
Like,
you know what's funny?
how good he is, but he's also the nicest kid I've ever met. He's the most humble, nicest kid I've ever met. But in play style and skill wise, he reminds me of a young you.
Are you saying I'm not nice?
No, I said player wise and skill wise, he reminds me of a young you, like a 17, 15-year-old version of you, or however old
Okay.
he is. No, no,
Well,
no.
we both know I'm the more handsome guy. No, I'm just joking.
Carl, let me ask you this. There's been this rumor going on about a Mortal Kombat 9 patch. Now, I don't think it's true, but let's say that, NRS was doing it. What kind of adjustment would you give to Kung Lao?
I don't know. I would make back one faster.
Okay. Anything else?
Probably not. No.
So you wouldn't say, give him back the old, uh, the old low hat or any of that nonsense?
Well, the thing is, they changed low hat because the main reason they changed low hat was because he could outzone zoners and then move before they could on hit. That's why they made it, and on block. That's why they made it the way it was. So I mean, that's fine. I just feel like his biggest problem is not having a fast mid. Like if he had like a Raiden forward two, he would be awesome. He'd be great. Like I would make his forward two now, the overhead or whatever. I would make that have more advantage on hit, and that's about it. It would be like +5 or something. Because right now it's like 0 or 1, which is not anything. Like one supposed to follow with 2, you could just mash out of 2 with down 3 or something. I'm not about to freaking try to hit you from crouching with a spin. That's just dumb. Because if you just so happen to want to block, be a smart player, then I get blown up for it. I feel like his back one should be faster. His back one is good now for matches only like versus Cage, but I feel like it should be faster. It moves like 26 frames. I think it should be at least like, or at most like 16. Yeah, I would speed that up.
Yeah.
Or I would make 4 faster or something. Or I would make his 3 like a combo starter into something. Or I would make roll actually, 2-in-1 in something as far as like combo. Because like you can do 4-3 spin and they can block the spin. I feel like that's dumb. I feel like that. I mean, the move is only 0 on hit and is -5 or 4 on block. So I feel like I should be able to be rewarded for a whiff punish. It should be just long range whiff punish. Like what's wrong with that?
Yeah, I think those are reasonable changes. What about you, 60? Would you do anything to Katana? I think I read about your changes, something about like armor on EX fan, but you can elaborate.
No. Dude, you
Carl, let him talk. Carl, go ahead, 16-bit.
She doesn't really need anything. I think she's a pretty cool design. If
So you
I was
wouldn't-
gonna
Yeah, go ahead.
get something reasonable, I would say give her armor on EX Pretty Kick. Armor, it doesn't launch. If you read it, you can duck and blow her up. I think that's reasonable.
I agree with that. That is reasonable, and it's safe.
It's safe
Yeah.
on block, but you can blow it up if you duck. And it's not big damage.
Or you can just make the air ass attack armor actually be more active or active throughout the entire frame, so you can use that. But that I think that would make her ridiculous though.
That would be ridiculous. Then you could do like down 1 EX ass and literally just get out for free. At least with EX.
I think nerfs to like Cabal would make her better, or nerfs to like Kenshi. I feel like Kenshi's armor push shouldn't be +7. I feel like it should be plus a little bit less than that.
Yeah.
Well, Pig, what do you think about Kenshi?
In terms of what?
Like, obviously you wouldn't want the character to get quote unquote normalized, but what would you change anything if if NRS
okay, I know what to change. Either you make EX shoulder 0 on block, or you make shoulder a high. That way you can duck and punish it.
That would be horrible though. That would completely ruin the character.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I'd say do one of those. Either make EX shoulder 0 on block, or shoulder. Why are we even talking about this? Patch ain't gonna happen. Let's just go next.
No, I'm just saying, like, because people in the forums, we had like 3 threads in the talking about.
That's what I would do. I would do that.
Okay, that's. I think shoulder hitting high, man, that would be worse than nerfing low shots, man. I think.
I would turn back 2 into my shoulder.
Okay, all right, but that's not that's not 8 frames though.
Wait, guys, what does Cage get?
Nothing.
Damn.
No.
I feel like his 4-3 should be -1 or -2 on block, simply because like when you randomly crouch and block and you do 4-3s like randomly +9 or whatever. I don't know if this. I don't care. He doesn't need that. Like
No.
I feel like 4-3-2 nut punch should get the combo ability back.
No way.
Why
What?
not?
Hell no.
Why?
He doesn't need an advancing 9-frame normal to that degree that he can hit her with a nut punch. Hell no. The fuck out of here.
I agree with Carl. Well, I just want to know this, though, one thing. Why does Sonya get a safe armored launcher that's basically the same move as Cage's EX nut punch, but yet his is -15? What's the rationale for that?
It's invincible. It's not
Yeah,
armor.
hers
It's
His
invincible.
is invincible. Yeah.
Well, that's true, but you understand what I'm saying. She could just throw hers out with no fear, but his is punchable. Like, what's the difference? Besides being
Nothing.
invisible.
She's dumb. We want her nerfed.
Yeah, I don't think that should be safe.
Mm-hmm.
I
Armored
agree.
cartwheel should not be safe. Regular cartwheel should be safe. Oh, by the way, I forgot about this. For Kung Lao, he should either have armor on his dive kick or armor on EX spin, or EX spin should be safe. There's
Get
no
outta
reason
here.
for me to do EX spin.
Oh.
There's no reason for me to do
Oh,
EX
Get
spin.
out of here.
Get out,
go,
get
let's-
There's
out.
no
Can
reason for
we-
me to do EX spin.
can
All
we
right,
Get
tell
out
me.
of here.
We got to
Tell
get
me
off the patch topic.
All right, wait,
Yeah.
No, we gotta-
wait. Tell me why I should ever use EX spin.
No, just go.
No,
You
why
use
should I ever use EX spin?
20-frame invincible wake-up attack.
Yeah, Chip.
So,
Chip. With Punisher. Get out of here.
What? And with punish and get 20%?
Carl, let's talk about something that everybody else agrees. Normalize smoke, man. As 60-minute put it best, get normalized, son.
Well, Smoke's already been normalized in the Vita. He can't do all that damage anymore.
It's true.
Oh, you can't? Oh, that's right. Hey,
Yeah, he doesn't
Dave,
have resets.
are you now going to lobby for the Vita version to be the tournament standard?
Actually,
Master Dio
check
hosting
this
the
out.
new Coco on
check this
Vita.
out. Hey, check this
Steve-
out. No, the
Steve-
PC version is the Vita version. We should be playing on PC.
Ooh. I'm there. I agree. I'm done. I agree.
Steve,
But-
who did you
What's
say
that?
get normalized to? Who did you say that to?
can't remember.
Ribs.
But I think
Okay,
Paul
I
said
love
that
that.
Cyrus's bombs
Ribs was like,
fixed too.
If we lose the resets, we'll only be mid-tier. And I was like, get normalized. Not my problem.
Hey,
Get normalized, son. What's up?
Hey, Carl, I want to shoot this at you real quick. We talked about this earlier. I came up with a way to 100% balance injustice, and I want you to blow it up. You ready?
Okay.
You don't buff or nerf any character in the game. And this is how you normalize it. And I gave MK examples too. Do the stamina system of Street Fighter 4, whereas, say, Superman would have 150 to 160 health, whereas Lex would have 200 health. That's an example. You're thinking long enough to where I could tell you like the idea.
No, I'm just trying to. I was waiting to see if you were saying something else.
Okay, well, hold on. I got more. Imagine, can you imagine using Cage on me, and you having 100% health in MK9, and I have 40% health with Kenshi? Don't you feel good about your chances now?
Yeah, I think people would feel good about their chances, but that's kind of dumb. Like they. All right. First off, as far as health is concerned, like as far as Street Fighter, Akuma has low health because he's just retarded.
Superman Cabal, go on.
I don't know. Why would Superman have low health?
Because, what did you just say? He's retarded.
Yeah,
But he's Superman.
Yeah, he's Superman.
Okay, not my problem. I don't wake up and piss on comic.
The only way you would do that is be like, all right, the character has to pick like a kryptonite costume or something. Like Lex Luthor has a kryptonite costume.
No. Okay, hold on.
I don't know. I don't think that would work in these games.
I'm just not a fanboy to where I live up to those arguments. Like, no, but he's Superman.
I don't think it's about being a fanboy. Like even in Street Fighter, like all the girls, for example, they have below average health, right?
Yeah.
I don't like
Yeah.
I don't like feminist, health bars. That's stupid. I don't want bears
they're weaker
and
characters.
Tekken to have hard. Well, what I'm saying is that the S tier characters. Okay, let's be serious here. Aquaman, Black Adam, and Superman. They're S tier characters.
All right. Well, if that's the case, then Doomsday should have the most health in the game. He should have like 1,000.
True. Yeah, that's a good point.
What? Wait, what? What are we doing here?
Doomsday is an indestructible, mindless beast. You kill him,
No,
he
I'm not
comes back
talking
to
about
life.
indestructible, mindless comic book nonsense. I'm talking about gameplay mechanics. I'm talking about gameplay mechanics. Everything that you're saying about indestructible, blah blah, this and that. Those are tools that he should have. That's what his trait is supposed to signify. I'm saying that S tier characters should have 100, 150, 145 health total between two bars, and the lowest tier of all game should have 200.
Man, that's not even going to happen.
It's not going to happen, but damn it, it would fix the game, and it takes away. Like if you nerf Superman, I don't want the Scorpion thing to happen. You nerf Scorpion, okay, now you nerf Superman, okay, now you nerf Aquaman, you nerf Black Adam, now you nerf Flash. How about we just keep their super overpowered tools and just do what Capcom does? That's why it works with Capcom.
Well, actually, Pig, let me go to a question here. It says, are you all going to rally to have Superman nerfed, as you did with Scorpion, or use that time and effort to further develop your own character? By DJ2 Scoops.
I'm on record. I do not want any of these characters nerfed. Although I would prefer my system. I'm not rallying for nerfs because I don't want to be that guy that everyone, well, Pig got Superman nerfed. I don't want to be that guy. So I am no longer rallying for nerfs. I am rallying that my system makes a lot of sense. And I think you guys are scared to admit it. I think it makes a lot of sense in this game.
No, I disagree.
So you would rather go nerf train, like nerf this character next, nerf this character next, nerf this character. That's going to be a problem. When do we stop? When do we stop? Do we have to get to black? I mean, do we have to get to green arrow to stop?
We don't do shit. The designers decide when it stops, and if we don't like it, then I mean, it is what it is. We can choose to play. I don't like MK9's balance 100%.
Honestly, I want to ask this question: what happened to the hot fixing? Why can't there be a hot fix in Mortal Kombat? Why does there have to be a patch?
From what I understand, a lot of it's based. There's many different versions of the game. Who's going to test the? I mean, think about what involved in a balance fix. It's not Paulo's not just like derp. Cabal's too good. Hit a button on his computer and all of a sudden it's fixed. Like he's got to. First off, whatever he's working on now. I mean, they're working on new characters in Injustice. They're putting the final touches on Martian Manhunter and whatever character's next. The dude is lucky that he could go to Vegas. He probably hasn't seen his family lately. Like he's working. You were there for a week. Yeah. You know what it was like.
Yeah, dude.
So now he's got to sit down and worry about nerfing Cabal. Then they're gonna have to bring in people to test that, and they're trying to test Martian Manhunter at the last minute. Now they're gonna test if Cabal's too good or not. What the hell are they gonna do? Fly in Rio and Detroit and have him play me and Dizzy for like 20 hours a day?
Honestly, I'll let you know this now. I would come and do it for free as long as they give us those godlike food meals.
That is true. Their food orders are great.
Dude, I would come and ask to stay with you or Jeremiah, and I would drive there every day and do the testing by myself by hand.
Well, that's really, I'm sure the community's going to agree. The MK9 Carl edition, where that's really what people want.
I do not trust
Carl with the K.
It comes back.
Change your mind every day. Carl, the other day, you're now on Twitter going about how this is a one-character game. When 2 days ago, you were like, Cabal's the most overrated character I've ever seen. You change your mind depending on who just beat you. You're not.
No, because I'm using Cabal, and I'm just like, wow, I think this character's stupid.
You're not doing the balance.
No, because, dude, I'm thinking about it because I'm, like, playing everybody in my pool, right? Like, I'm playing Reno. He's using Rain, right? Rain, I think, is a pretty good character. And he has to fight for his life. And I'm just not even thinking. I'm just like, I'm just going to do Gas Blast. If you teleport, I'm going to forward for you. If you don't, I'm going to come in and fake dash in and then do a Gas Blast, get +5, and come in and do some more pressure. And you got to guess. And while you're trying to get away out of my obstacle course, and then I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to do an obstacle course. I'm going to come in and just rush you down. Oh, you think you're going to get out of my pressure? I'm going to EX dash you. And I'm going to cancel the EX dash and go. Dude, it's ridiculous. It's not even fair. I hate using Cabal, which is why I try to find so many ways around him. I hate using the character. The fact that I'm going to just use the character and, dude, like,
well, I don't know.
If he's able to play that perfect again, I don't think that's going to happen because the dude it's ridiculous. He was playing the same style as SCR, and there's no way you could play 100% perfect like that all the time. That he's had such a great day. The fact I'm just saying is I'm giving Denzel props, but at the same time I'm saying Cabal is stupid.
I agree. I was saying that earlier. I think we'll see the future, but I think Denzel just had a hell of a tournament.
Yeah, he made a lot of good reads. And he just played great in general, like all of you guys said. So
Yeah, the fact that he was able to do that against 3 Cabals, I can't do that. You know, Dave, you said I would win tournaments if I had a counter pick. Nah, on any given day in a bubble, I think I can beat almost anyone. But to do what Denzel does or what Carl did at Evo, any of you guys, where I don't know, it's so mentally draining playing good players. Like
it is. It is. It
after
really,
I beat Cowboy, I could have gone on vacation, and that was one hard match. Like my God, after that I was done. Like
Dude,
I don't
after I
know
played
how.
Forever King, I was like, oh my god.
Yeah, it's really, really tough. So for Denzel to play at that level against Detroit, that match with Detroit, Jesus Christ, that was last round, 4, 3, 2. Detroit made a final read. That was absolutely incredible. For them to
Can we
then
be
play-
serious here and admit that Cabal is a super character?
yeah,
Well,
Like,
we've
he
been
is.
saying this for
Being
like
that
2 years now.
character is ridiculous. No, dude, I didn't know how dumb it was until I started using it myself and actually playing it and understanding the philosophy behind the character. He shuts down everything. It's dumb. Like the all right. First off, I'm feeling myself when I say this, but I am that much better than everyone else that uses.
oh my
Cabal.
God.
Hear me. I'm that much better than everyone else for me to win Evil twice in a row and beating Cabal, this super character with Kung Lao. Like that, I mean, it says a lot, but at the same time, I want to beat people who, like, I don't want to have to be like, I have to fight the super character. You know, when you, like Bill was saying, when we play MK, we look at our pools or our brackets and we're like, oh man, I got this character in my pool, I have this character, I have this character. It doesn't matter what player it is, it's the character.
I don't know
Like,
about that. I don't buy that. That's not what I do when I'm with my.
Hey, Carl, I would give you props and say, yeah, you're right. But then I read this thread called "Why Killer Frost is Mid-Tier at Best." And I look a little, looking at the bottom, there's 4 likes, and they happen to be your name.
Yeah, I liked it because it was funny.
Okay, so you like it because it's funny, now that you agree.
Yeah, I thought it
Okay.
was funny as hell.
Okay, I'll
Dude,
go
come
back.
on, the character
I'll
has a
go
safe
back.
slide. She dominates half the screen with a slide.
Okay, I'm going since Claude is on the show, and
Yeah.
we were a part of the Unjust Cast, I'm going to go ahead and nominate this son of a bitch for the Ragnarok Award for the worst poster of all time.
Dude, you're the biggest troll. First off, you act like New York is like undefeatable when, or the best when. I don't know. Out of the 3 years at Evo, they've all not been able to deliver.
You talking about me?
Yeah, man.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm just saying, going by overall record, that's
Overall
Well,
record.
yeah.
Overall
I'm saying
record.
overall
Carl,
tournament
well,
wins. That's
Rio
all.
did win 2 MLGs in a row, right?
I don't care what Rio did at MLG. When was does MLG have MK this year? No, they don't. Let's talk about Evo, who also had MK this year. Guess what? New York has only had one top player every year in Evo finals, well, grand finals. I mean, I'm talking about top 8. And in both those years, 2 of those years have been Rio. One of those years is Junior.
Well, that's true. Last year, top 8 was you, me, and
This
King.
year we had 2 Midwest players.
and-
The year before we had 3 Midwest players, and the first year we had 2 Midwest players.
By
Wait,
the way,
Carl.
That is
Denzel
true.
and Malik were born in Chicago. Hold that.
Wait a minute,
Exactly.
Carl. Who's the best Marvel player right now in the world? Honestly.
Honestly, like,
Overall, who's the best?
I think Justin's the best.
Well, okay, but most
I don't
people
care what
would
you
say-
say. I
most
don't
people
care
would say
what people
Chris
say.
G.
I don't want to hear about Chris G. I don't want to hear about Flocker. This man is using Wolverine, Storm, Akuma, and playing ridiculously, outplaying everybody with his team. That's the only reason he's losing is because of the team he plays.
No, I understand. What I'm saying is, the reason why most people would say Chris G is because of how dominant he's been at tournaments.
Yeah,
Even though he didn't
I
win
know.
Evo,
I know how
he's been-
dominant he is.
Yeah.
You know, Chris G's a great player using a great team. But
Right.
the fact is, I'm looking at Justin, who's basically using, like a mid-tier team, doing like he has to outread you 10 times.
No, I agree. I mean,
The reason why
obviously,
Chris G does so well is because he avoids the random factor in the game with his team.
right.
Which, I mean, is not taking anything away from him. He's smart to do that. But I'm just saying, I think Justin, because of the effort and the work ethic, is the best player.
My point was this real quick, that Chris G, because he's been so dominant has won so many tournaments and so many top 2 and 3 placings that people say he's the best, right? Just because he didn't win Evo doesn't mean that he's not necessarily overall the best. That was my point about Rio. That's all. It's not a slight to anyone.
Well,
I mean,
he also lost to Nemo on like a long set too. I mean, Rio can do however well he wants to do on like the East Coast and stuff. But
it's not just the East Coast though.
All right, where else has he won?
I mean, he won Final Round, which was one of the biggest MK majors. Right?
Okay, and then
he won NEC 2012, which was also one of the biggest.
Dude, I swear, you mentioned another East Coast tournament.
Okay, but
he won Dallas, which is in the South.
He won MLG Dallas.
Yeah,
he won MLG Raleigh. He came in second.
That's the one tournament that he's won out of his region.
No. MLG Dallas, MLG Raleigh.
He won
Devastation.
He won Devastation.
Yeah, but these are majors.
To be
these
fair,
are majors that everyone traveled to.
Okay.
I'm mentioning majors that people travel to, not just
I can come with the argument that we can argue this. I mean, people are going to probably try to blow me up after this. I don't care. But the argument I just said, Chris G is using the team that destroys the rest of the characters or the cast or the players or whatever because it avoids a lot of the game. Now, Rio is using Cabal that destroys the entire cast or avoids a lot of the game. And also, Rio didn't start using Cabal until after the latest patch when all the characters got nerfed. The characters that could fight Cabal or beat Cabal, like Raiden, Kung Lao, Reptile, whoever else that was like ridiculous back then. Before the last patch, they gave Cabal a run for his money.
Right.
Now,
but Rio got second to EVO with Molina.
Okay. But also he wasn't dominating the tournament circuit either.
Right.
Back then. So,
okay, Carl, what is your like your bigger point? Like, where do you rank all of these scenes? Obviously, ours. You obviously, I know that you think I suck, but
yeah, I do.
Shut up. But talk about it in general. Like, where do you see our scene? Where do you see the other scenes? The Midwest. Talk about all that because that's one of the questions that I have on here.
Okay, what is the exact scene? Well, I mean, what is the exact question?
Like it just says like rank the scenes. Obviously, we have the Coco, we have Pig scene down in the South, we have the GG in Chicago, we have the New York scene. Just
the
like
Midwest as a whole is the best scene.
Is the best scene?
Down. Yeah, the Midwest as a whole is the best scene, hands down.
It's only to be a scene. Don't you have to practice together?
No.
Okay.
Like best scene, you're talking about MK and Injustice.
Where's Ohio and Chicago? I mean, Ohio and Illinois is set on the entire major poll. I mean, the entire major like grand scheme of things as far as on the United States. Where is that? It's in the Midwest, right? So it's the best scene. We have the best scene at MK. I mean, honestly, Injustice is probably it might be stronger on the East Coast because they have a local tournament every week.
Right.
They have a tournament that they can go to every week, but that's demographics. I mean, if they didn't have Battle Circuit, then they probably wouldn't be as strong. The same thing is Wednesday Night Fights.
I guess my point is, even though KDZ is from the New Jersey, New York area, actually from New Jersey, but I don't really consider him part of our scene because he doesn't train with us, That was what I was saying.
Well, he goes to the Battle Circuit. I mean, he doesn't have to train with you. He goes to Battle Circuit and he goes to 8 on the break.
I guess I'm referring to VSM specifically. That's what.
All right. Well, VSM has not been able to deliver the past 3 years at EVO, so that's not my problem.
Okay.
Wait, Carl, I brought you on here to talk about the whole money issue.
Yeah, I was, but this just became.
And he's trashing Rio.
I'm not trashing. No, first off, let me set the air clear. Rio is like super godlike at MK and wherever game he plays. I don't want anyone to think that, I think he's terrible or whatever. Rio is a great player.
Okay.
But I feel like people should stop overhyping him, which causes him to, I guess, come up short when it matters most. Because if he was able to play when he's, relaxed, he'd probably do better. Same thing as me. I put so much pressure on myself, I went to the hospital.
I knew it.
What?
Did you have an anxiety attack?
No, I had an anxiety attack.
Wait, did you just say you did or didn't?
I didn't.
So what?
Yeah,
How'd you get sick? What do you mean?
I don't know. Like, I guess basically leading up to like practicing and stuff, I wasn't eating as much. Like, I'll eat, but I wouldn't have appetite.
Oh,
And like just over the course, and then over the course of like time, I just got, I guess, worse. And then I went outside, like, cause I woke up and like for some reason my vision was blurry or whatever. But then it was super hot outside, and I sat outside in the car waiting for my girlfriend to get ready and stuff, and it took forever long. And that's when my migraine came, and I had a headache, and that's when I like passed out, and I was like throwing up, and had dry heaves and shit. That's why, because I was sitting outside for too long and it was too hot.
speaking of which, I apologize. Taco Bell's now closed.
Yeah, no, it actually closes in 40 minutes. I thought it closed at 3. It closes at,
Okay, well, we'll make this money thing quick.
Well, I'm not going to make it quick because I'll just go to like Waffle House or something.
Okay.
Or cook, because I am a chef extraordinaire. Anyway, um, as far as like the tournament and stuff, I think the money situation is ridiculous. For us to go to the major world tournament in the world, the biggest tournament in the world, Denzel only got $715 for first place because 36% pot split for first. I thought that was dumb. Like, they paid out top 8, but they shouldn't have. I guess the reason that they did it is because 7th and 8th place people were complaining like they got too low of money, but you got 7th, 8th place or whatever. You actually probably shouldn't have got anything. So you should be happy that you even got like, a pat on the back. I mean, that's how I feel. Even if I would have got 8th place, I would have felt the same way. Like, me getting 5th, I'm upset for that I got money because it should have went to first place. Because I would have been upset if I would have won and been like, you're giving me $715, I just won an EVO.
So didn't you make a post about you're worried about where the rest of the money, like where is all the money going to?
No, all the money went back to the players.
Okay, so that's been clear. Okay.
Wait. How much did Sheehan get paid?
5,700.
5,700. So basically the money was spent all the money, like you said.
Yeah, all the money went back to the players.
Okay.
They're not taking from the pot at all. I
don't
know
okay. That's good.
All right.
They're not taking from the pot. The fact is that they split up the winnings. First place, in my opinion, at this major scale of a tournament that EVO is, you want to pay out top 8, it shouldn't be less than 50 or 60%.
Mm-hmm.
You shouldn't go down to 36%. That is dumb. Unless you are pulling in $1 million payout, it shouldn't go like that. That's how I feel. Because come on, dude. We spend so much money to get to Vegas, so much money staying there, eating there. A bottle of water is $3. You got cabs that have fluctuating prices. And that's too much. If you're gonna have us fly to Vegas, and let us, when we win, it's hard enough to be there and win because there's so much stuff going on. You're in Vegas, you want to have fun, you want to party, you want to go drink, you want to hang out with your friends and stuff. You really don't feel like playing in the tournament. You want to just hang out, but you have to have the mental fortitude to want to do that. I feel like people should be rewarded, or players should be rewarded for doing well at EVO.
Okay, so what do you want to change?
Obviously that can't happen again. Like, that is so disappointing. People are like, oh, well, the prize money should come from developers and publishers. Honestly, it should come from, it should and shouldn't. Obviously we have to pay an entry fee to get into the tournament. That's been the standard forever. But I feel like the entry fee that we pay should rise a little bit more. I think it should be $20 or $15 at least. And for EVO,
mm-hmm.
Come on now. Even MOG, they make you pay $50. It's a flat fee of $50. You're not paying venue. You're paying venue fee and the entry fee, but you're getting paid out. A guaranteed money payout. What? Why is it such a problem to go to Sony or go to Xbox? If we're going to be playing on these Sony PlayStations, why can't we X them? For hope for a tournament or whatever. Why can't we go to Mountain Dew or something? I've seen people go to for a championship gaming series. They had Mountain Dew, Best Buy, Circuit City, DirecTV, all these companies that were putting into the league and stuff. Why can't we do that for an event or a circuit? But I don't know what the TOs are trying to do or anything, because honestly, I feel like they should profit from it too. It shouldn't just be all about the players. It should be about everybody. Everybody should be making something from this. I'm tired of the mentality some TOs or people in general have towards the players, where they're like, oh well, I don't care what you want. You better come to my tournament, or else somebody else would just get the glory. Because I heard Mr. Wizard saying like, well, if Chris G doesn't enter Marvel, then someone else will get the glory of being the world champion, and that's just the way it would be, and they'll get all the attention and stuff like that. That's messed up. That you just say that. Because honestly, I feel like players should band together. If they don't like something in the tournament or about a tournament, they should unify and boycott it. There should be more unity. Like, for example, we can't even pick a dang rule set. But that's because of the players, too, because all of us have too many egos. We want the fame and stuff. But honestly, it's like a 15-minute fame. It's not going to last that long. Like, you can be the champion forever long. You're going to lose that crown eventually. But people don't realize that. And they put a lot of obligation on people or players, like they have to do something. When honestly, I didn't sign up for some thing with my, blood saying I have to do anything. Like, this is all entertainment for them. Like, they want to treat us like workhorses, and that's not right.
Okay. All right, makes sense. All right, go get your Taco Bell. I want you to go eat.
Well, dude, I don't feel like moving right now.
Okay. So what else do you guys want to talk about?
Also, I want to talk about the equipment. I don't understand why there wasn't headphone apps like there was last year. That's actually pretty huge, but they didn't do anything about it until Carlos had to play, because he has to, be able to listen to the game sound and stuff.
What did you think about all the monitors were on 1080 again?
Yeah, dude, you already know how I felt.
I know, that's awesome.
Dude, I was so angry. All right, first off, we're playing on. I hate practicing for a tournament in a certain condition and then going out there and playing in a different condition. That's like saying, hey guys, instead of playing offline, I'm going to have you guys all sign up online when you get to the tournament and playing some simulated lag. Dude, come on, man.
Yeah.
If that happened at UFGT, that happened there. I mean, we're at EVO. Everything's supposed to be perfect. We're at Evolution. Imagine we're playing basketball, right, in a basketball tournament, and the ground is wet, so it's slippery, and the basketball doesn't have enough air in it. You would be pissed.
Hey, speaking of basketball, me and Malik were talking about this. Who would win in a 3-on-3? Dab, MIT, DJT versus me, you, and Tom in basketball.
See, I didn't know I was on the team. I was gonna immediately say they will win. But because I'm on the team, I'm godlike in basketball.
I don't know, man. I can defend the paint pretty good.
All right, well, I'm godlike in basketball.
Okay. You're a point guard. You're a point guard.
Yeah, I'm really good in basketball. And Bill is pretty athletic, but Bill has old man syndrome when he gets hurt and stuff.
Oh, that's right. He would bitch a lot.
Yeah, but Bill, I don't know how good Bill is because I didn't watch him play. Because I watched him in Fatality play, actually. But Fatality injured him. Like, he like, broke his ankle or something because he, like, pushed him or something. I forgot what happened, but Fatality plays really dirty. Fatality's a really dirty player. Like, he's very competitive, would do whatever it is to win. Like, he fouled the crap out of Bill.
That's how I'm in the paint. I got elbows. I'm throwing bows.
Well, I will call a foul on you. I don't care.
Well,
I have a jumper out of this world. I have no problem shooting jumpers in the face of people that are taller than me. I have not a problem.
Okay, but we're on the same team, so I'm not throwing bows at my team.
Okay. Yeah, it's fine.
Okay.
But I'm saying I have a jumper from like half court. Like, that's how good my jumper is.
Okay.
So we will win that because, you have you guys defending in the key and stuff, right? Protecting the key, and they're not gonna be quick enough to, when you dish the ball back out to me. I'm pretty sure Dab will probably hold me, but I don't think Dab could hold me. My mind games come from basketball, so I will shake the crap out of somebody.
Who do you think would play me in center position? Do you think MIT or DJT? Who would go against me? DJT?
I think it'd be MIT. And
okay,
I think DJT would be on Bill just because they have the same.
Oh, the two Sub-Zero players going. Yeah. Oh, exactly, dude. We got to do this.
I can see that.
We got to make this happen. I'm dead serious. I want to do this. Okay.
And Bill doesn't have faith in me, but I'm so good on the court. I just get tired. That's it. I just get tired.
Oh, man. That's one thing. I'll have the best endurance of the team, and I'll play the paint. You guys just don't bitch out on me. We'll win.
Yeah, I'll be fine. As long as where are we going to play to?
21.
Oh my God. Okay.
What? That's not even.
Can't play to 10.
Dude, come on. 20. Oh man, our stock just went down.
Was that birds in the background or what's
Yeah, what's going on with Dave? Is he
What the
like?
hell's in the
I think he's
background?
cooking, man. Why are you? Were you killing chickens and then cooking them?
All right, let's go and end this. Let's go and end this because we've been doing this for like almost
Wait,
4
hold
hours.
on. Let's talk about the Injustice tier list.
What the hell is he doing in the background?
Killing and cooking chickens.
Wait, before you guys even get to the tier list, quick question. Did you have a chance to check out the Street Fighter?
We didn't get to check out anything. There wasn't nothing to check out. All they did was do an announcement.
No, I mean you didn't get to stay in the audience and watch it, or
Oh yeah. Oh,
What,
oh, you talking
AE's
about watch
top
the. Oh yeah.
AE Top 8, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I watched it.
Dude, how about Infiltration versus PR Balrog?
That was awesome.
yeah.
Yeah.
Let me, guy, I hate to interrupt 1 second. I gotta leave immediately. I got like a huge flood in my basement. Just finish it off big, and I'll talk to you guys later. Okay?
Okay, yeah.
Is
Okay,
that
Take care of your
water?
club, man.
I'll talk to you guys later. Okay? Just finish it off
Okay.
big for me. I'll talk to you later.
Okay. Hello?
yeah, we're here.
Yeah, so
So that was what? That was water the whole time, dude. His basement's fucked.
yeah, dude, he's fucked up.
That was water the whole.
That's right.
time.
It is raining. That's right. We don't get floods in my house because my house is awesome.
Jesus Christ.
Dude, you want Pig? You're trying to send me out into that bad weather to get some food. What is wrong with you?
No, you texted me and you were like all worried about your
Yeah,
your
but
starvation.
dude, it's
I was
raining
like,
here.
well, go
You
get
know,
go
we
get
have a
Taco Bell.
terrible storm going on. Dave's house is underwater. Bill's attacking his house with Aquaman and shit.
Yeah, poor Bill. Where's Bill?
I don't know. I haven't seen Bill. I know. I talked to him. He's in Comic-Con or whatever.
Yeah, he's a Comic-Con.
Um,
Are you excited? Are you excited about VXG?
I mean, yeah, because I feel like it'll be a good way to redeem myself.
Okay.
And there's way more money on the line for Injustice and MK.
Mhm.
And I have an exhibition with KDZ.
Ooh. Okay.
that's cool.
That's cool.
Can we give VXG predictions since this is the last episode before VXG?
I don't know who's going, so I can't really predict anything.
Yeah. Honestly, who is going? Like 6 Americans, and then like they're St. Martin, whatever.
Yeah,
Like-
I believe it's Dizzy, Waffles, Rio, Junior, Kerbo,
You.
Gross, me, if Tommy doesn't have his flight yet.
Yeah. VXG has not given Waffles his flight yet.
Yeah, they will not tell him his flight itinerary, and I'm not buying a flight. Like, I want to be on his flight so we can go to the airport together and chill out on the plane because it's a long
dude,
flight.
it's an 8-hour flight, man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
his
it's a
flight-
long layover. Like, it's like there's multiple layovers and all that.
Yeah, like VG is literally next week. Like I leave the 24th.
Yeah, I do not know what's going on with them. It makes me worried.
I'm looking forward to meeting Shang Tsung. That's what I'm looking forward to.
So
Well-
if I can actually get information, I'll be going, but... And flights are going up. They're getting more expensive. So I don't know what the hell's going on.
Well, Carl, are you gonna go all Cabal or are you gonna play different characters?
Cabal?
Yeah.
Why would I pick anyone else?
my prediction is that Cabal will definitely win VXG, and it's probably going to be Kerbo, Rio, or Carl, most likely. I mean,
I agree.
Kerbo's
going to win.
Kerbo could definitely win.
Well,
sorry-
I feel
I'm sorry.
godlike in the Cabal matchup. Like the fact that I play that matchup ridiculous, but when I pick a ball, it's like this is so easy. Like you actually have to outplay me now.
Right,
When I feel like someone has to outplay me, they usually lose.
right. So you'll be a lot. Maybe top 3 might be all Cabal mirrors, man.
Duh. Of course it's gonna be all Cabal mirrors. was Gross gonna pick Reptile or Sector? No.
Gross is gonna get his shit pushed in, man.
Well, actually, wait. I can see like Kerbo, like getting drunk or something,
What?
and
Dude, isn't he like 14 years old?
Dude,
No,
he's like 14.
he's 18 now.
He's 18?
Yeah, he's going by himself.
Dude, that haircut. That haircut's not 18.
Let's see what his haircut is now. PC, let me go to this page. Dude, he has.
So last weekend, before the weekend before Evo, some of us BSM guys got together and were training for Evo, even though I didn't go, but we were all training. So I was talking to Rio, and Rio was telling me that he's been training like with Kerbo online, and that he thinks that Kerbo is currently the best in Mortal Kombat player.
Yeah,
That was his opinion.
Yeah, I think Kerbo's going to win. And I think it's going to be battle for second, third between you and 16-bit and Dizzy.
What about Rio?
Well,
yeah, and Rio. My bad.
I don't know. I don't think Kerbo can fight his own shit.
We'll see. It'll be interesting.
Have you played Kerbo recently?
Yeah, I have with Kung Lao.
Okay, well, how do you do?
Well, obviously I lose. I'm playing online. How am I supposed to anti Kerbo when he's like, yeah, I have this shitty internet connection. I'm gonna jump in.
It's true.
I'm gonna do freaking like 4-3. He's like 4-4 Nomad Dash down 3, and I'm like spin. Nothing comes out. And he beats my spin. I'm like, dude, you're freaking -5.
Yeah.
And he'll do a jump in. I can't poke him out. I'm like, dude, I have to do things before they happen. There's no way I'm gonna hit a button before. And then I'm watching him like dash cancel full screen at me. And I'm like hitting a button, it won't come out, and I'm like, okay, whatever.
It's very true.
I can't move.
The Kerbo Cage versus Kenshi online matchup is probably 6-4 Cage. It is so wretchedly bad. His connection is bad. We played Batman versus Sinestro because he was in my stream chat talking shit, like just being funny. I mean, he's terrible at Injustice, like literally abysmal balls. And I said, okay, I'm going to body you, little kid, first of 3. And then he got on there. He's like, dude, I don't even play this game anymore. I bodied him. But I couldn't even move on our connection.
You can't move versus Kerbalicious. Like,
yeah.
He's like, yeah, man, you need to start doing. I'm like, if I could get the button to come out, yeah. Because I feel really good in the Cabal mirror match. Like, I feel like I have better reactions than the entire community and better mind games.
Yeah.
So, if we're doing Cabal versus Cabal, I feel good. I will Nomad Dash through all your freaking block strings. That 1 frame window or that 2 frame window for 4-3-2 hook swords, I can teleport between that.
Yeah. All right.
Like consistently offline. So I'm cool with doing Cabal mirror, and I feel like I have a better gas blast. My gas blast is more perfect. I feel like I have better pressure. I know the matchup. The fact that I fought Cabal so much with Kung Lao and no one to interrupt him, and seeing Cabal's tools versus himself, I feel like I feel really good in that matchup. I'm not saying I'm going to win. I'm going to body everybody, but I feel like I have great chances.
Well, now I'm excited. I'm excited to see MK9 there.
And on top of that, regardless, we're going to get paid a lot of money.
Right, that's true.
Do you think there's any chance that it turns into a devastation money situation?
Man, I don't know.
I'm just throwing it out.
I'll throw out
money
something.
Money is there, apparently.
Apparently, then why doesn't Tommy have his flight?
Why doesn't that's the only reason why I asked this question is why are they giving him the runaround? And it's
what have they been telling him?
Nothing.
They just said we'll get back to you. We'll get back to you.
What other players don't have their flights?
I know Kerbo did eventually get his. I don't know about everyone else.
I think I don't know about Jailhouse. I think that was rectified.
Yeah, did he ever get his? Wait, why does Jailhouse have a ticket? Why does he get a free pass?
Because he won. They had some thing here in New York, and he won it. I can't remember exactly what it was.
What?
For Injustice, yeah. They had some kind of tournament here. It was one of the next levels, maybe, or something, and he won it.
Jesus.
He won a next level tournament and got okay.
I want to throw something out though. So why are we only talking about our predictions being the Americans? Gross didn't come from a vacuum. Like, I'm really excited. If I go, I'm really excited to play the locals, because who the fuck knows what's going on?
Well, they have a lot of Raiden players from Trinidad.
What?
They have Raiden players from Trinidad.
What the fuck is Trinidad?
Dude, are you serious? You're being hella disrespectful right now.
What? No.
It's an island Caribbean. It's a Caribbean island, and they have a really good Raiden player there named Vincent.
They have
There's
multiple?
Imran is the best Kratos I've ever seen, but obviously Kratos
What?
is bad. Yeah.
What the fuck? What kind of tournament is this?
Yeah, why do you know?
Kratos isn't allowed, but I play with the locals there.
What about Ella? How about Ella?
I haven't played Ella, but I know Ella uses
Reptile.
Cabal. No, he uses Cabal and Liu Kang.
Oh.
Yeah, somebody from Dominican Republic keeps telling me, beware of Ella.
I'm warning all of you. Beware of Ella.
Yeah, that's what's fascinating to me. Who the fuck knows what's going on?
L is really good.
It's been a long time since we've had a tournament where we don't know what the fuck's going on. Where I'm gonna go in and you'll get your pool assignment
Dude,
and I'll
when
be
I
like,
went
who the
there,
fuck are these guys?
dude, when I went there, I didn't even know I was playing in the tournament. I thought I was there for vacation. Travis was like, "Hey man, you're in the tournament," so I wasn't even prepared. My mind went so away from Mortal Kombat. I was like, dude, I'm trying to eat these shish kebabs. I'm trying to drink some Malibu pineapple and pina coladas. I don't care about this. But then I got blown up because I decided to party instead of focus on tournament. This year I'm focused on tournament.
All right, guys, are there any other issues we're going to talk about? Because we're on 4 hours and I got to go to bed.
So
I got to go to bed soon.
you got
All
work
right.
in the morning?
Sort of. I need
That's
sleep.
too bad. We don't care.
I have nothing better to do.
Hey, wait. I just wanted to hear your. I asked you before, but we got cut off because of Dave. When you watched the AE Top 8, that Infiltration versus PR Balrog match, what was it? You said you were there in the ballroom, right? Watching
Yeah.
it? Yeah. What was it like when he picked that? When he picked Hakon? I'm not familiar with the character really, but
A con.
yeah, dude, that was like one of the most ridiculously hyped matches I've
Well,
ever seen.
he's always picked a con if he feels like he has a better chance. Because
I was like, what is this character like Bane? Like he gets level 3 oil and he's like
no.
godlike?
Oil just gives him different properties on his moves.
That's what it seemed like. I'm like, what is this?
Level 3 lotion? It sounded so gay.
level three jerkins or whatever. And then,
He gets level 3 lubed up.
yeah, but it reminded me like, wow, once he gets this, like, you can't even get close to him or something. It was like crazy, but
Yeah, like
anyway.
his moves get different properties and shit.
Okay, yeah, that's such an interesting I don't know, such an interesting character to have in a game where it's just like it moves have different properties based on oil. It's weird. I don't know. Anyway, I was just wondering because I was pretty entertained by those topics. And Marvel when Justin Wong beat Christie was ridiculous too.
Yeah, dude, I almost cried.
What?
No, I'm serious because I was pulling for both of them, but Justin, I was like, man, it'd be good to see him win Marvel again because of the legacy thing.
Yeah.
So when he won, I was just like, oh, I guess hit emotionally.
Dude, Christie was looking stressed every match. He was like, did you see his face? I don't know if you could see it from where you guys were sitting, but every match, it looked like he just took everything out of him every time he played a match. It was like crazy. I don't know, he was like really under a lot of pressure, I think. Put himself under. But anyway, yeah, I mean,
What do you guys feel about me doing the online tournaments and people are complaining about me charging the entry fee? People don't realize how ridiculous it is to deal with people who want to be late to their pools or late to playing and stuff like that. Like, I'm going to be streaming this. I'm going to be talking to my sponsors to give out like prizes and stuff. So like, I'm not just. I mean, like, yeah, of course I'm going to pocket $5 because it's freaking a service fee. I dare somebody to do this for free. Run a 300-man bracket online and make sure everyone's playing their matches. I would love to see you do this shit for free.
What about, all right, Koba, I guess people are like, quote unquote blowing you up for it because they feel like, oh, it's an online tournament, I have to pay $5. What if you did it like donation based instead of like taking $5?
It'll be the same thing.
Nobody would donate.
I don't know. I mean, people.
I'm telling you
donate
up
stuff
front,
in this
I'm
community.
pocketing some money, but I'm not taking from the player. Dude, it's $15. You know how much you spend to go to a tournament?
No, I understand, but the people that don't go to tournaments, they don't get it. Pretty much.
Well, then they don't have to go to this one either. I mean, that's as simple as it is. They just don't have to go to this one either.
Hey, what'd you guys think about Relaxed State versus the 3 Supermans, Cyborg versus Supermans at EVO?
I didn't see it.
What happened?
It was him versus CD Junior, him versus that Ramamasa, whatever the guy's name is.
Ramasan.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then him versus Tyrant. It's crazy. Like, he dominated all 3 of them in the first match.
Right.
And then something happened, and I can't. It's the biggest question mark to me of the whole tournament. He looked like a world beater, like in the first match with each of 3 of these guys, and then it happened every time. He ended up losing.
Yeah, that happened at ECT. I remember when he started playing Cyborg.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone was like, "Oh my god, this is the most broken thing I've ever seen. This guy's got to win this tournament." Like that's what people were talking about because his cyborg was ridiculous, and Jailhouse too. And then like when he started playing on stream, people were bitching about it too. I don't know if you remember that.
Mm-hmm.
But like he didn't win, so it was essentially the same
I
thing.
don't get it. Like I don't get it. Like every time I watch his videos, and he like wins the first game, and then like he
Right.
doesn't win. It's like
Right.
I don't know.
Maybe he chokes up and he's just not clutch or something.
He's a really good cyborg. Like if you watch, all right, let me put it this way: go watch all of his YouTube videos, but just watch the first match and tell me you're not impressed. Just the first match.
Is he better than Alioun?
Probably right around there. Like him, they're both kind of equal, probably.
What about Jailhouse?
I get probably around equal, something like that. I don't know. I need to play Jailhouse.
By the way, I think Nemo is the best Marvel player.
All right.
It's crazy. But it's always him and Superman's, which is crazy because isn't that known as like a bad matchup for Superman or frustrating for Superman?
It should be frustrating. The only thing that keeps Superman in the game is freaking damage.
Oh man. Someone playing Injustice.
Probably Carl.
I'm not playing anything.
Oh, okay. I just heard buttons or something.
Oh, that's me typing.
Oh, okay.
Anything else you guys want to talk about?
No, I
Can
think I'm done.
Any Evo stories? Any Evo?
I don't like how MK didn't have a break to top 8, and then I don't like how we didn't get to play on the main stage.
I agree.
I
That
agree.
sucks.
I feel like he
That sucks.
deserved to be there, especially they were talking about, oh, well, the storyline of PL, if he can freaking, whatever, repeat or not, or three-peat or not, that's why he's back in the thing. I mean, in the tournament, but we don't even get to be, shown the game or whatever. That's dumb. Like, and Injustice ended so quickly.
Right.
Can we
But
give
KOF gets to be on there.
Can we give a huge shout out to NRS for showing up and being there from the first minute to the last minute of the
Right.
whole event?
Yeah,
Yeah, that was awesome.
I mean, what other company does that? Those, I mean,
exactly.
we complain about buffs and nerfs and this and that, but I probably would list every one of them in my top 50 favorite people. I mean,
Yeah, of course.
just really great. I mean, Ed Boon, I couldn't ask for a better person to be in charge of it. Paulo,
Exactly.
whatever disagreements I have with him, whatever.
And on
Hector,
top of that, they seek us out to be like, hey guys, so what do you guys think is wrong with the game? And
Yeah.
let's talk about
Yeah.
it and let's
Yeah.
try to find a solution. They're the only ones who do that. You got freaking Capcom Ono just wants to troll everybody and be like, hi everyone, and take Blanca doll pictures with people. And I mean, come on, man. Like I love NRS. Just it's I don't know. It's great just hanging with them and stuff, man. Because I always look forward to talking to them. Like I always like get happy when I see like Paulo watching my stream whenever I'm streaming and stuff.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree. Those guys are awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I literally love those guys. Hector, Paulo, Ed,
John,
I love John. John's actually my favorite.
Ryan,
I'm
John's awesome.
I'm a
That
big
was the
John
first
fan.
one I talked to. Like,
John-
well, I played Paulo and UMK3 at PDP where we didn't say too much because I was kind of nervous talking to him,
Yeah,
just because it was my first time meeting him. But John was the first person, like, really, I guess, to have a conversation with me.
yeah.
Well, and then after that, I saw them at UFGT that
Mhm.
year, and I talked to them and hung out with them and stuff. And Marco too.
Yeah,
And a lot of testers and the art guys everybody from NRS is awesome. I think it's because they are American. I would like to just go up there and visit, and I would do stuff I mean, like if they just like, hey, you want to help us balance something, I would come up there and do it for free as long as I can get free food orders, and that's it.
Free Taco Bell.
No, man, no. It has to be like one of those random like sushi and fried chicken orders that Hector does. That was awesome.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's call it in the show. That's a good way to end. All right. Cool. All right. Cool, guys. Well, thanks for coming on and talking about this for about 4 hours. It was a loaded show. Hope you guys enjoy the show. Next week on the show, either next week or the week after VXG, I'm going to either have Zyfox on to discuss Flash, and we're going to do a video where me and Zyfox are in training mode, and we're talking about the good points and bad points of Flash and going through all of his tech and how to beat him and how to play with him. I'll either do Zyfox or another character next week, but definitely focus on a character next week, as well as typical discussions. And all right, good night.
All right, good night.
Shouts to Revolver's Lex. It's the best.